Hello, one and all, and welcome to another thrilling episode of Arcanarama. I'm your humble dungeon master, Cameron Holt, and I'm joined as always by the intrepid Arcana crew. Say hi, intrepid Arcana crew.
Hi, intrepid Arcana crew.
Hell yeah. We won't take content from other shows, but we will take their intros. All of them. We're coming for you.
One at a time. Who's left?
There's other shows.
Yeah, there's
Kinda.
We've got NADPOD, we've got Sirens, we've got other D&D shows that
Do they have
exist.
intros?
There's that new. Yeah, there's that new one that just started. That's I don't know. They're doing Spelljammer. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, before we hop into tonight's episode, we have a couple of quick announcements to get through. So I'm going to throw it over to Tay-Tay's Crazy Corner. He's going to tell you a little bit about our sponsor. Take it away, Tay-Tay.
sponsors. Who needs them?
Us.
We do. We have two that we can say, and a third that we like to say. The first one is Gilded Rogue apparel and lifestyle. I think is. I still don't know how you do that. You wear it, and then also you have pillows.
Well, lifestyle is stuff like coffee mugs.
Right.
Pillows,
Okay. So yeah, apparel and lifestyle.
Throw blankets should they come
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, blankets you throw.
Items you put in your home, but not on your you.
Okay. So that.
Nice.
And it's from our good friend at the Gilded Rogue, who when you buy the stuff that's really great, that's D&D oriented, you get all the trees planted. If you buy a shirt, a tree gets planted. Think about it. It's totally normal. So go buy a forest of merch.
Merch.
Damn it.
That was so fast. There was no setup there.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, were we all supposed to
Yeah, I
say?
think
Yeah.
we are.
See?
Oh, yeah.
See?
We'll get it next
How I
time.
feel
Yeah.
every
Yeah. So
single
the next time I say buy a forest of merch, we'll all say it together.
I'll still only get the last word.
Yeah.
My
No.
brain isn't fast enough.
I appreciate that y'all think I'm not smart. But
Who else is there?
We have More Fun Comics and Games, which provides us with the prizes that you so deeply want
I
so
covet.
bad. This is Snowbound, which is great for the summer.
For when
It's a
you, oh
box.
my god,
I thought my arms were longer than that.
they're pretty long.
It's a box full of minis. We don't even know what they are, and neither will you until you get it shipped to you after you win, if you're a follower. So do that.
Well, where can't you live?
You can't live in Quebec. You're not allowed.
You can live in Quebec. You
No,
just
you
can't.
no,
win.
you can't.
They try to tell you can, but
No,
no, you can't.
You can't. It's either rent in Quebec. They don't want you to live there.
What is an apartment going for in Quebec?
I don't know, some colorful money. I don't give a shit about.
Boring.
So More Fun Comics and Games is a local comic book shop that provides us with prizes and all the stuff that you like. And we also have Kitty's Scratch Kitchen as a sponsor. I don't think we have graphics for that one, but she's right over here, and she's
There's a graphic.
there is.
Robin's
There
on
it
top
is.
of this fucking shit.
And she makes baked goods if you live close, and if you don't, you just have to look at the pictures
Just look at the
and hope that phones smell good. And that's all the sponsors from me.
Thanks, Tay-Tay.
Also,
Send it back to go back to Cameron.
Hi, that's me. To figure out how to enter to win for your chance to win the More Fun Mystery Mini Giveaway, stay tuned until the break. I'll tell you how to enter, and when we come back from the break, we will announce the winner. In the meantime, I'm going to throw it over to Kitty. Wait, should I? We should have talked about this, I guess.
Well, go check out our website. There's a link in the About section.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Back to you, Kate.
Oh, and there's a secret link. You gotta find it.
I still haven't figured out the
Can you give
password.
us a better hint?
It's in the hint.
I've
It's
tried
like
so
right
many
there.
palindromes.
No, the hint is in the old
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and there's also a hint in the new one, which is the hint in the old one backwards. But I've entered both iterations of those things, and none of it works. So see if you can figure it out. You'll be smarter than me.
It's gonna be one of those things when you figure out you're gonna be like, "Fuck you," and so like I want to be
Probably.
there for that. It's gonna be, and you say that every day anyway.
He calls you just to tell
It
you.
does. It's 6
Hey, what's up,
a.m.
Taylor? How's it going?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Hey, good morning. Eat shit. Sam,
You wish.
where can the good people find us on social media?
What's up? We're at Arcanarama on TikTok. We post clips there. Sometimes Cameron makes other stuff that you can respond to and talk about your own D&D stuff.
Yeah,
if
sometimes
you are
I-
so inclined.
Sometimes I try to put together rolling tables with comments, but nobody comments on them. So you
So
should.
you should.
Because I'll use that shit on this show.
There's that really cool one about how I accidentally broke Aurora, and I'm sorry. Cause
Oh, no, yeah, no, I think that's just fun. I don't think it's broken. There are plenty of ways for me to break Aurora back.
I have a show on
we're all-
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
yes,
We're all
We're being
having fun.
threatened, I think.
I think.
At Arcanarama show, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. In our About section, you can find a link to our Discord. We talk a lot about stuff. This show, we talk about your games, we talk about your art, we talk about our art, we talk about plants, we talk about food, we talk about anime, we talk about video games, we talk about anything that you want to talk about. If I didn't list it there, you can join our Discord and request another channel for us to talk about something else.
I bet one of us is into it.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Actually,
Don't.
don't. If you thought about it, don't.
Yeah.
As long as it's within the Twitch terms of service.
Yeah, there we go.
That's not true. Discord is a wild frontier.
That's social media.
Thanks, Sam. As mentioned
It's a
before,
wild ride.
as we go to the break, you will find out how to enter for our first giveaway. And when we come back from our break, we'll announce the winner and tell you how to enter for our second giveaway of the evening, which is this beautiful set of Fantasy Forge dice. I made them myself. That sounded weird to me, but it's true. I made them. They're Fantasy Forge dice. Sam helped, yeah.
With this,
This is the New Moon dice set. It is clear resin filled to the brim with dark sparkles.
Taylor has some right
and
now.
yeah, you will be Taylor's dice twin. He actually purchased some
Oh yeah.
from the Fantasy Forge
This is
dice
the,
shop.
this is the dice that he doesn't like me to roll.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So that should tell you how good they are.
I thought it was
so
something else.
That's no,
there's
yeah.
two now. It's the Silas die and the New Moon die.
Okay, at that point, we just need to call it Taylor the Man.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely just his luck. Like
Yeah.
the dice are perfectly balanced.
If you're yeah.
is that?
If you're ever wondering at home,
like explosion thing that pops up that says "ad" on it.
Anytime anyone rolls a nat 20
Yeah.
on a Fantasy Forge die.
Hey, while we're in the announcement phase, may I make a request of the audience and/or you?
Sure.
Can you see that my shirt says "Roll Initiative" on it? Because I'm very excited about my new shirt.
Yeah.
it's like the thank you bag.
Just,
Yeah.
It's like just below the bottom of the frame.
Yeah,
I'm not tall enough.
it's a good
We'll
one.
get you a phone book next time.
It
Yeah.
reminds me.
And I have one.
When we get you in a solo shot, it'll be visible.
Gorgeous.
It reminds me of the old video maze bags from the video store that was by our house
Yeah.
back in the day.
Lobo Pizza. In
Yeah.
the world.
Ours
they
is
have the
next to
thank
Mr.
you bag.
Jim's Pizza.
Hell yeah! I got a really fun one
sponsored.
also that says "What's your damage?" and has a bunch of the dice on it. But I worked out in it today, so I didn't wear it here.
I finally ordered the Time for Crime shirt.
I'm
Whoa.
from,
Fuck yeah,
from the
from
Gilded
Gilded
Road.
Road.
Yeah.
Planted a tree
All of those
sure
links,
did.
everything we talked about is in the about section.
Oh, and they
do
show
it.
right here
you
on
what
Twitch.
tree. Can I tell them they show you what tree? Like when you order a
Oh,
thing,
what?
they'll
Can you
send
make requests for trees?
They'll send you an email and it'll be like, "Do you want to see the tree that you planted?" And then it'll like show you what kind of tree, where they're planting it, and like info about why it's good for the environment. Like if
That's super
it
cool.
feeds animals or whatever. Like yeah, it's super interesting.
I
If
didn't
you're
even
into
know
plants.
I do love that it's a question.
Yeah.
Do you want to see your tree?
Do you want to see your tree? Yes, I do.
Yes, absolutely.
course.
The last thing that I have is to throw it over to Miranda
Whoa.
to check the vibes.
I caught it. Hi.
Nice catch.
Nice catch. Hi. How are the vibes? How are the things? How is all your stuff? I hope your week's been great.
You rubbed it.
I must have had it on my hand. It looks like I kissed myself
Okay,
all over
17.
the side.
Not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Not bad.
Oh, vibes.
No.
Oof. Okay.
Fucking naturals, Woody.
Oh, okay. What are you? Okay.
I got a fucking
The double F.
I got a natural too.
Oh no.
Hey.
You can also roll your own vibe check along with us in the chat by typing !vibe check with no spaces.
You can.
I'll show you how.
And
I'll
let
do
us-
one for the channel.
let us know how it go.
Nope, I almost spelled check wrong.
How do it go?
Oh my god.
We got a 13 as a whole. Not too bad. Not great.
Should be a fine
okay.
episode.
What is everybody else?
It's fine.
I hope my Scorpio babies, my fucking my Libra babies, my Aquarius babies. I hope you were okay
That's me.
during the eclipse that we had this week.
When was
Is that
it?
what
Yeah.
that was?
I hope you guys were chill.
When did
hope
that happen?
Y'all weren't wilding. It was like I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, I was having a bad time.
Hey, listen, it's gonna be alright. I believe in you. I promise.
Thanks, Maria.
It's bad vibes, but like, hey, you only got like 2 more weeks of it.
What does it mean if you're none of those signs, but you still have had bad vibes?
Hey, baby, you're going through it right now. and
Okay.
That's fair. That's just fucking
stuff.
fair.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
hoping for like a cooler reason.
I would have to like look at your chart.
Okay,
But, like,
we'll
I'll
talk
pull it
about
up
that.
during the break.
I love when someone says, yeah, the eclipse, and someone else in the room goes, is that what that is? Like, I didn't know. I just
Wondering
thought
why the sun was blotted out.
I just thought the moon got tired.
Yeah. Hey, anybody?
It's just
Unrelated
little
question.
baby
Anybody else
moments.
having a hard time seeing today?
Yeah, no, I had like 2 days where I was just like,
Let me.
everything. I hate
What's
everything.
in your
And
face,
also,
child?
my headache was really bad. I had a really bad headache. None of the medicine that I was taking was working for it.
I'm sorry.
And I'm just like,
Listen, I'm very proud of you for
Nothing
not
fun.
stabbing something this week, though.
I don't even remember
I
what I was
just
doing on
sliced-
Wednesday.
food, you know? Like
I let her pick. It was the smallest knife we had now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I like to do it with little chopsticks. So.
We did use the butcher knife.
Whoa, sick! I'm
Well,
not allowed to
unless-
have one of those.
Unless I'm forgetting anything that has to do with,
We're having
D&D or
therapy.
announcements. We'll do that after the show. Unless I'm forgetting anything.
No, I think that was
Wonderful.
No,
we
don't
checked
be
the
from
vibes.
Quebec.
There
Yeah,
are
it's fine. We're doing it.
12 days left until the showdown with the hag.
Oh.
So,
Not many days.
I think it's time to make sense of some of our newly reacquired memories. Tonight's episode of Arcanarama.
Previously on Arcanarama. The Mistwalkers, in search of mercenaries to aid in their fight with the Hag, spoke with Kai Freefang, the King of Carnage at the Crimson Court, who directed them towards a meeting with his overseer. This led the party to a meeting with me, Lord Alistair Drought, to discuss the cost of such an acquisition. It proved too expensive for their tastes, proving that you can put a price on justice, at least in their eyes. After our meeting, the Mistwalkers tried their luck in hiring another adventuring party at the Dewdrop Fang, where they discovered that not only are fewer adventurers staying in Lugrive after the death of the magic item salesman Emir Flosham, but that there is a nasty rumor that Flosham's ex-husband, Valifar Chant, had hired the party to find and kill the merchant. Needless to say, the party cut their losses and began the long trek towards Altanen to meet with Aurora's cultist family. After making camp near a mysterious and ancient magical archway, there was more trouble afoot. Assassins attacked in the night, seemingly targeting only Silas. The voice of the night hag emanated from the masks being worn by the assassins, taunting Silas. It was revealed, almost too late, that the assassins were actually Silas's wife, Genevieve Bramble, and Pippin Duvet, Cholula's youngest brother. The pair had been brainwashed by the hag and sent to kill their respective family members. Luckily, due to the Mistwalkers' quick thinking, the proper minds of the two would-be assassins were restored. But is the party free and clear, or do they just have 2 more innocents to protect? Find out right now on Arcanarama.
We begin right where we left off. Your long rest was interrupted by a pair of would-be assassins that you have since discovered to be the mind-controlled Pippin Duvet and Genevieve Bramble. After using some of the potions of greater restoration that you had at your disposal, you have cleared their minds of the fog that was causing them to try and kill you. However, be it from the lingering effects of the mind-altering magic or the major wounds that they each sustained in battle, the pair have lost consciousness and lay before you. Yet to have received the benefits of a long rest, what would the rest of you like to do?
That's That's not an assassin. That's my wife. I've been wanting to say that for like 2 weeks.
Well, shit.
I think Silas is just frozen.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
There was just kind of enough of a moment after being fed the health potion and brought back to consciousness from being unconscious and bleeding out, which Genevieve was.
Well, she had pressure on the wounds.
Yeah. There was just enough time for her to kind of look up and have that moment of recognition and say Silas before once again conking out.
Why don't we just finish out our rest? I'll put up an alarm of sorts and everyone just get our bearings together, and then we can figure out what to do once these two wake up.
You think they're like good forever, or like will they go back to trying to kill you?
It's hard to tell. Is our like little campfire still going?
That's up to you guys. Did you leave it burning through the night, or did you put it out when people started going to bed?
I always imagine it going so that he has a little flame and that whoever's up has like something to stare at.
Sure. Then yeah,
If
absolutely.
you're new to the show, Silas is afraid of the dark.
No, we can absolutely say that that's part of the nightly watch duties is kind of tending to the flame duties and keeping the fire going.
Poop.
I would like to take the remnants of their masks and toss them into the fire.
Absolutely. You do so. You toss them in. They begin kind of charring and blackening.
Okay. Okay. I'll set up a sort of a barrier, and I will see how many of these I have available.
What does it look like as Cholula casts alarm?
Let me see. I haven't read this yet.
I've been really interested to like, because we initially saw like Cholula like casting things, and there's always this kind of like flair of food about it. And I want to see how they can always be. She starts just throwing soup into the air.
I mean, or
So-
just like salting the perimeter.
Right,
I was
yeah,
gonna
like-
say that I pull out, the knife sharpeners that's like a stick with like ribbed
Oh yeah. For like the
for kitchen
Very
knives.
stereotypical-
Yeah, and
typical.
I'm gonna like rub the knife on it, and little sparks come out, and they like make a sort of a dome around us,
hell yeah.
and then kind of fizzle away so you can't see them anymore.
Yeah, and sharpening your kitchen knife in the process.
Yeah, it's so sharp.
Wonderful. So yeah, you all see as this kind of orangey yellow translucent dome begins to appear and envelop the area that you're in before it's even fully formed. It starts disappearing at the top, and by the time it touches the ground, it fully vanishes. And you can set whether or not you want. I think you can choose the creatures that can pass through it without setting off the alarm, and you can also choose if you want the alarm to be audible to everyone or just in your mind.
If the alarm gets set off, does the spell end?
I don't think so.
So like
I think it lasts for the duration.
So, like, if a squirrel were to come in and set it off, it doesn't go away.
Right.
Because she will disguise herself as little forest animals, so I want to, like, check them out.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Let me just look really quickly at the specifics of alarm.
Just mean mugging every squirrel that comes near it.
Yeah.
So it is a 20-foot cube. So it's located centrally around the campfire. So you all might have to kind of scoot in a little bit more to be within it. Whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. So probably your party members,
Yeah.
unless you want to know if any of them try to leave. So I would guess you'd probably leave it off of Genevieve and Pippin in case one of them like gets up and darts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be something.
A mental alarm alerts you with a ping in your mind if you're within 1 mile of the warded area, and awakens you if you're sleeping. So you don't even have to be within it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
You can leave
that's
that
a
like
useful
like
spell.
a thin pass, and just if you're walking through one.
Yeah, and it lasts for the next 8 hours. It's not
Nice.
not concentration.
Yeah, that's one of my little clockwork spells.
Yeah.
You can leave that on a road and just leave and like, oh, someone is
Someone's
following
coming.
us. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
and I didn't know you could leave.
Mm-hmm.
I think Silas is kind of
Oh,
just
you're with
bundling up and like making the most comfortable bed for an unconscious person
Oh.
that
Yeah.
he possibly can, and like cleaning wounds as he can
Yeah.
silently.
Make a roll a medicine check.
Okay.
What are Rabbit and Aurora up to?
Rolling hit points.
Yeah, we had a little situation. I'm just gonna talk about this briefly because I'm still pissed.
Can you do it without saying proper nouns?
No, because we're not sponsored, so fuck.
But what if they want to sponsor
yeah,
us?
like
Then we can
later.
get
Okay,
that direct
you know,
customer service line.
a very well-known service that caters specifically to D&D players.
Yikes.
And,
Mobily.
and more.
And more. Yeah. D&D and more.
It's a Bed Bath and D&D.
Yeah, you can. So you can pay this service a small amount every like 3 months, we'll say, to allow you to have more than 6 characters stored at once. However, turns out if your card expires and you get a new card,
You can't update it.
you can't just update your card info. You have to delete your entire account
Wait.
and resubscribe. Yeah. So we had to recreate Rabbit about 30 minutes ago. Because that was a nice, fun surprise. So if some things are slightly off, it's because we didn't have access to the old
Yeah, it's
character
because
sheet.
I'm confused.
But
To
yeah, so
infinity.
please bear with us and bear with
Please bear
Sam
with me.
as she's still kind of getting
Just looked
things
down
together.
and I was like, why do I only have 28 hit points at level 8? That can't be correct, right?
Don't forget to put on armor if you have it.
Yeah. That being said, if anybody who
I'm a
works
monk.
for a very small company recently acquired by a larger company, and you're seeing this, check your fucking emails, I guess. Anyway, what is Aurora up to?
I'll just go back to taking watch, by the way, because I did get a long rest in.
Absolutely, yeah. Rabbit is the only one of you so far that's gotten a full rest because she's an elf and just has to meditate for 4 hours.
And also because of that whole thing where I don't have my old sheet. I don't know what happened during the fight, so nothing happened during the fight.
Oh, that's
Rabbit.
right.
So,
Yeah.
I'll take a watch.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Gladly.
Aurora, what are you up to?
Okay, honestly, post fight would have gone to sleep.
Okay.
I probably would have found wherever was next to Cholula and her brother, but out of the way because I have no healing abilities. But that is a child, and
He's
sort of
a young man.
Yeah. He's a
Late
couple
teens.
years younger than me.
no, he's a baby.
Maybe early 20s.
A cinnamon roll. And I'm just gonna sort of tuck next to them and just sort of if one could unconsciously not go all the way to sleep, and just sort of stay near him. I guess that would be a half rest or a short rest. But I'll take that.
I would say you can choose to either take a short rest and roll hit die to heal yourself up,
Okay.
or and do any wizard biz that you need to get spell slots back,
With
or
these.
if you wanted. No, let's just do that. This my thing was going to be more complicated.
Okay. Sick.
14 medicine.
14 medicine. Yeah, she did have a couple of wounds that were still bleeding, but you tend to them, get things wrapped up, get her comfortable, and she's no longer in a life-threatening position. Perception from Rabbit.
Yeah, so I did roll a natural 1, so I used a luck point.
Rad.
Given the situation. It's 22.
22.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the forest is quiet. Relatively. There are the sounds of...
Suspicious birds.
You don't see any suspicious birds.
Right.
There aren't a lot of bird sounds. There are some strange kind of cooing and I guess one bird. There you do hear the hoots of some various owls that must be on the hunt.
Okay.
But nothing immediately approaching your camp or acting suspiciously that you can see.
Cool.
Right. Cholula, what are you up to?
I probably
After you cast Alarm.
Yeah, if there's like a tree or boulder or something within our little area, I probably like am leaning on that with Pippin's little head in my lap and just like pass out.
Rad. All right. So those of you who do go back to sleep, you can take your benefits of a long rest now. Those of you who don't, I would love for you to make a Constitution saving throw. Which I believe is Aurora and Silas.
You ain't sleeping?
I was going to.
Oh, do you go back to sleep after you get Genevieve all
Yeah.
situated? Rad.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and take the effects of a long rest.
Yeah. I don't even know if he would want to, but he did. Like he just.
On my team, I was like, I don't
So
wanna count
tuckered.
anymore. And then,
Yeah, you were exhausted recently.
Yeah.
22.
22. Yeah, you managed to stave off the effects of exhaustion, and using the short rest, you don't really like close your eyes and sleep, but kind of staying stationary and not moving for a while is enough to sustain you without making you too tired. And yeah, you can use your arcane recovery to get back any spell slots, or however that works. As the night passes, eventually the sun begins to rise on the horizon, just kind of peering through the many trunks of trees, thick and thin alike, and you all begin to wake up. You feel a little more rested, still some bruises and cuts in a few places, but ultimately feeling much better. The two would-be assassins are still fast asleep.
You don't think that she would be in their dreams, do you?
Who's to say?
Do they seem like they're sleeping soundly?
Make an insight check.
15?
15. They appear to be, yeah. But Silas also did
Yeah.
when on nights where you knew that he was visited afterwards.
I think one thing we could concern ourselves with is whether or not this hag has you two in mind. You said you were missing a family member, and we were going to reunite with your family.
You know, I hadn't considered that I would be involved in any way, actually.
You are now.
Rabbit, make a quick history check.
I don't think I really need to worry. My brother stayed home. I mean, he didn't tell my parents at all that
13.
he went, so for all I know, he's still there.
This was almost, what was it, 20 years since you had seen your brother?
Yes.
I don't think there's any bounds.
Rabbit, it's hard to tell now as the fire begins to dwindle and the remains of the masks are just kind of not ash because they were porcelain, but they are blackened and charred, and the gold that was on them has since melted away from the heat of the campfire. But looking back and recalling what you could make out during the fight in the evening, the one thing that you found when you returned to discover Randris was a white porcelain mask with a gold stripe.
We already determined that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't know if that directly ties to Asher or anything like that,
Exactly.
but there's definitely some correlation there for sure.
The question is, I guess, what do we do with them now? Because we're walking into more danger, and I'm not sure I mean, I don't know Genevieve well, and obviously haven't seen my brother in some time, but I'm not sure if, when they're not under the spell, if they still have those sort of fighting capabilities.
If they do, we should bring them.
Yes, possibly.
Genevieve was always spry, but not a fighter.
I'm gonna dig into my little pouch, just want to be sure, and I'm gonna crush up some more of those little violet flowers and cast protection from good and evil on Pippin,
Absolutely.
just in case.
Hmm. You do so, warding off any fae that might be trying to peer into the dreams.
We could always bring them to Baldwin.
I thought maybe the school
Yes,
would be
that's
safe.
true.
It's on the way. Or it can be on the way.
Right.
Do they hold any sort of? I mean, I guess they're trying to help Roscoe there, so, and they let Cressel in and they let us in, so they might possibly allow some people to seek refuge, even if they aren't necessarily attempting to study.
Could maybe garner some information from them when they wake. What was their captivity like?
Who else was there, or if they remember, there's always a chance they won't remember shit.
Of course, but
More things the college could help with.
Hey,
Right.
so like 2 quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
From what I know, we're just 12 hours outside of Ludgrave. Can I, from the placement of this arch, discern where we are on this heavily marked up map?
Yeah, my map is not as heavily marked up, but I can give you.
Yeah, go.
an
Drop
approximate-
a pin.
I do love how the map
Send me the
has
Addy.
notes.
One of these days, we're gonna print one of the suckers out and laminate it, and it's gonna be.
It's gonna be fucking sick.
Just a
War room.
laminator.
Oh,
I could do that. Orbit Press has that stuff going on. We
Yeah.
could-
You just
we could
take
just
it and
it's like an
run it
email.
through.
So
My page size.
there's this little triangle of lakes.
Yeah.
The 2 small ones, and then the one slightly larger one on the right, the bean-shaped one on the right.
Yeah.
Just beneath the L of Ludgreve.
Sick.
You're just about at the bottom left tiny lake on the map.
Okay.
The furthest
Yeah.
triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Furthest triangle, bottom of the lake. All right, cool. Can I also take a quick second to add this weird dwarf arch to?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
Those are history checks.
How long has it been since we hung out in the arch?
It's been maybe you made camp at the arch.
Yeah.
So
We didn't leave.
it's been about 8 hours, and it lasts for 24.
But then we like slept for 4 and it lasts for 24.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go stand in the arch again just so that I have like 24 hours from now and not 24 hours from like 12 hours ago.
Okay, yeah. Rabbit paces and does a circle. Comes out much more pumped and venous.
You should drink. Right. And then I'll
You
get
can
up
label
and
that as Moradin's Arch.
I'll do the same.
You want to see if we can lift each other?
Maybe another time.
Great.
Oh, that history check was a 16, by the way.
16.
How well do I recreate
Oh.
this arch?
Yeah, incredibly well. It is. Actually, I'll let you describe how it looks.
How rocky is it? Is it like still pretty together? Is it like?
It is.
How should it hold
So
up?
You described it as the tree was partially.
yeah, the arch itself is perfectly intact. However, the stones around it have begun to weather and fall away. It's hard to tell if it was part of some type of building or if this was a freestanding arch that had more filigree. But there are on one side some carvings of what you now know, thanks to Silas, to be the dwarven god Moradin, accredited with creating the dwarves. And then on the other side, kind of growing around it and kind of almost encasing half of the arch, is this large tree, just your basic thick-trunked, very leafy.
Rad. Okay. Cool.
Like a
Then
birch. I think that's what birch trees
I'll
look like.
make sure to get like a very nice part of the tree intact, and then just sort of like a gesture of where this arch is, and then like some scribbles of what I think probably was on the other side, or what was like definitely keeping those legs real pretty. And then like I'll go to the other side where like there are those engravings that Silas helped me decipher, and I'll sort of like annotate it down at the little bottom, and like write a little bit about it.
Absolutely.
Disrespect Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
It was almost a thought, and then my brain was like, don't.
Don't do it.
Don't.
Don't process
Stop
it.
thinking.
Yeah. We've got time to swing by the school. We can just loop down the bottom way. I don't think we really made up our mind of whether we were going above or below. So
Go by the school and see if they could keep watch on them for a while, at least for a 10-day or so.
Cholula and Silas, with your passive perception, each of you notice as Genevieve kind of sits up and places a hand on her head, and then quickly to her chest, where there are still several wounds. She's kind of like bandaged up.
Yeah, imagine my shadow's like near her all the time, and it's just like waving Silas over,
Yeah.
like on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he bolts.
You see, sitting up, kind of facing away from you at first, and you come and kneel down next to her. Silas, how did I get here?
I was going to ask you that.
I remember it was strange. I was trapped in this loop. It's all fuzzy. I remember we were dancing, and then it was hard to breathe and hard to see. And we were in that terrible, terrible place. And I felt beside myself, outside of myself. It's this strange drive to appear wealthy and put together, but it was impossible.
It's okay. You're here now.
And then everything was clear. I was in this warm stone room, standing in front of a mirror. And there was a woman behind me, a fawn. That's all I remember. Everything went black after that.
That's what we've come to know as a night hag. Attempting to deal with it now.
Make an insight check.
Ooh, 18.
18. You don't get the sense that she is lying to you. Oddly, for the first time, it's this strange kind of juxtaposition of feelings. Just recently, did you fully remember who you were? And it's this strange sensation of having all of these past experiences, but not exactly knowing what they were or that they were yours until very recently. So it's this weird juxtaposition of like it's all new, but it's all been there the whole time. But to you, this feels like the first time in a very long time, probably longer than it would otherwise, that you've seen Genevieve acting like herself. But she does seem like kind of jumpy, understandably.
For sure. And yeah, like Silas isn't like touching Genevieve at this point, like trying to be like respectful of someone remembering things all of a sudden,
Yeah,
and
she
not
kind of-
knowing where they are.
Yeah, she kind of looks over her shoulder and sees all of you.
Right. These are my friends. They've been helping me with trying to find you.
She kind of like strains for a second, takes a deep breath, and gets up to her feet. And does like a very elegant, kind of very elvish bow. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm Genevieve Wilford Bramble.
Cholula Duvet.
That's Aurora. And that's Rabbit.
Hi. Sorry. And then Aurora sort of just like straightens up and like shakes any sort of like dirt off. Hi. So Silas said that I was kind of like almost sister, so that kind of makes you my mom, and I guess Silas my dad. But we can talk about that later if that can be actually rearranged. But like, hey, hi, it's really nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you, and I'm glad that you're better.
That makes two of us. I wish I could say the same about the having heard about you part, but it's not all quite there. It's nice to meet you. She takes your hand and shakes it. And Rabbit, was it?
Hi there. You're welcome to be my mom as well if you'd like. You don't. No
Right.
pressure.
We can maybe
I'm
talk about
absent
it.
one parent.
Speaking of,
I'm
where
going to
is
shuffle Aurora away.
where is Alma? Is she still in Waterdeep?
Oh fuck!
No.
She kind of looks down and places a hand on your shoulder, as kind of like a consoling, but also keeping you from continuing what you were about to say. You get the sense of understanding and processing, but not quite ready to hear it yet. Right. So, Night Hag, you say?
That's what we've been told. It takes many forms.
I don't know much about them. I don't know anything about them. At about this point.
They took away his memories, and when we met, he had no idea who he was and what was going on or anything. But as soon as we got a little bit back is when we started trying to figure all of this out, I guess.
That all tracks. At about this time, a couple of feet away, Pippin begins stirring, kind of rolls over to his side for a second, pushing himself up. It's like facing away from all of you. It's like just kind of working out that you guys are like kind of having these conversations, and they're like getting up and like being facing Forest.
Yeah.
Kind of holds his wounds and starts taking in his surroundings and notices all of you. Kind of pushes himself up.
Pippin.
Make a quick insight check. With advantage.
Yeah, you had to have heard that
Is
accent.
that my real name?
Yeah, I was like, do you have to be to remember your own name?
Cholula.
Yes.
He just like rushes forward and hugs you.
Yeah. I crush him
Yeah.
in my arms.
It hurts.
With love.
It hurts for sure.
Non-lethal. Non-lethal though.
That sounds so bad. Yeah! Oh, yeah.
I don't know what
No,
just
we
happened.
can't do that one. Not that song. It's about jizzing.
All right.
INX.
Pippin,
Chalupa, where have you been?
I was transported to Waterdeep and lied to my whole life, and they told me that my whole family had been killed by bandits in Hillslip. I didn't even know where I was from until recently. You're all grown up. Where have you been with her the whole time?
It.
No.
Yes.
I was. It's been mostly. Are you familiar with the Red Pines in the north? Naramlaw.
I've heard of them. I don't think we've traveled through there yet.
I've
Oh,
I know there.
You're familiar.
I'm from there.
Rabbit.
My name is Pippin.
Hi, I'm Rabbit.
Pleasure to meet you.
Is
Nice to
Pippin
meet
also
you.
a shifter?
Yeah.
Does he also look like a cat?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got kind of ginger, curly hair, but kind of kept cut close on the sides. Those similar kind of feline ears, a little bit in the nose as well. Just kind of like more of a prevalent dividing line that kind of peeks its way down to the mouth as well, and the definite eyes of a duvet, which is a weird sentence to say out of context.
it's got the eyes.
Soft and warm embrace of the
Yeah.
eye.
Full of pillowy goodness.
Yeah, just they cover you. Yeah. And this apologetic person in blue is Aurora.
Yes, this is
Nice
Silas.
to meet you.
He's,
Nice to meet both of you. All of you, I should say. I spent most of my time in a forested area. Half the year was the color of fall, and the other half mostly cherry blossoms. Lots of reds and pinks.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
It was lovely scenery.
Did they set you up like with a family or?
No, I was raised with a number of other children by the overseer.
The caller?
No, he would come visit, but the overseer is the one who watched over us. He trained us most hours of the day. I don't really want to talk about it.
Is it sort of an orphanage type of situation?
Kind of,
Was
yes.
it any of our other family there with you?
No, no, nobody that I recognized. But, I mean, I barely remember. I'm amazed I remembered your face.
Well, you were just a baby.
Do I recall ever coming across like other groups of people in the Red Pines?
What?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, there's
Yeah.
your answer
Yeah.
Take from that what you will. Make a history check.
on that burp.
I was
What-
also
what was it made of?
Could I decipher where he said that sounded? Because I have a general clue.
He said Naramloth for sure, which is marked at the northernmost city of Mistinor.
Was it like all the way up in there, or was it like with these little flowers down here?
It's marked.
Okay. No, I know the city's
Naramloth?
marked, but like, was he like straight?
Oh,
in the
what he's
city?
talking about.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell based on what he said.
Cool.
Without having been in that area. Because the Red Pines are predominantly evergreens that are red needles instead of green needles. But even to you, Rabbit, what did you roll for history?
8.
8. Even to you, coming from that area, fall colors to cherry blossoms doesn't sound super familiar.
I'm gonna lean over to just Aurora and really quietly just say, I don't think he knows where he's coming from.
I
Doesn't sound familiar.
have some theories based
Okay.
on this map that I've been looking at a lot, but like,
Right.
I don't know. It'd be really nice whenever you feel comfortable if we could pick your brain about it. I know that sounds kind of rude, but I've been trying to sort of keep note of all the weird shit that's been happening here, and that sounds kind of cool. Not like in a sorry, geologically.
Right. No, I agree. It was a very magical, beautiful place. I don't know how I got here.
Do you remember leaving that place?
Do you remember a fall by chance?
Yes. Was there someone who told you they could get you out of there in exchange for something? Maybe, possibly.
Not that I recall. The overseer, he would train us hard for months at a time, and then he'd take his absence for a couple of months at a time as well. Never regular, always kind of up in the air.
You say training.
Yes, combat, survival, how to hide myself, honing my personal abilities as a shifter, and we all had different specializations. Mine were predominantly based on speed.
Do you recognize that person over there? And I'll point at Genevieve.
I don't believe we've met. She looks over. My name is Genevieve. It's a pleasure to meet you. They shake hands. Pippin Duvet.
Right. Okay.
I mean, they didn't really work together very well anyway.
Well, so
When
what
they
we
were
know,
working.
Almost killed you.
what we know so
Not together.
far is that the caller escorted me from Mistinor to Waterdeep, where he set me with a family. They were involved in some sort of deal to watch over me for a certain amount of time, and then he came back and took me to a place called Bork, where I was worked until I assassinated my employers. And our mother was a professor at a school, and she was due for sort of a promotion, and the person that wanted that promotion sort of unwittingly tore our whole family apart. We recently visited our old home in Corcathmith, and the scene does not match the reports of what happened there. There was definitely something violent, but Wellington, our eldest brother, his room was completely empty, unlike the rest of the house.
Huh.
So that was interesting.
That does match up a bit with things I recall. I don't remember anything about that night or being separated. I only know what I've been told. And pictures here and there, I remember mostly smells, a lot of heavenly smells from that place. And some faces. Yours is different. You look a little more stern, but
Yes, it gets
You
stuck
were-
like this when you concentrate all the time with your brains.
I could only imagine what mine must look like then.
What?
You've killed people, you know. Like, horribly.
I mean, you have to survive.
Impressively, you mean?
It's a dangerous world.
Well, I'm a cook, and I know how to cut meat, I guess.
We should note that the people killed and the cooking are separate.
Yeah, they don't mix.
No, but the anatomy is very similar to animals in certain ways.
Of course, yeah. Everything's got a heart,
Yes.
and it's
that-
usually not hard to access.
That's creepy.
I'm aware.
Did-
But during you say this man who called himself the Caller, he was the one who was moving you around.
Yes. We had an altercation with him in Waterdeep when we first attempted to meet with this night hag creature. She sent him
Really?
instead.
Is he still with us?
He was banished to another plane, but who knows how long it would take him to get out, and I don't know what plane he was banished to, and if it's the ethereal plane, apparently that's where the night hag goes, so she could have easily gotten him out, I'm sure.
Right. We were under strict orders when the overseer was not present to not leave the compound, to stay on the grounds. But occasionally, during the overseer's absences, I would get a visitor in the night. He'd come to my window, a hulk of a man, very large, kept his face covered, but he was very large. He'd tell me stories about the name escapes me. And also me.
And also with you.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
So what fanfic were you writing over there?
He
Yeah,
kept,
I know.
listen.
Yeah. I was listening. And then I saw you.
This is AO3 content. Strictly.
He would tell me about
It's over. I shook it.
Finny,
It's done.
Finny and Cherry. He told me a bit about you.
So Finn and Cherry could still be alive somewhere as well.
Maybe. He also told me a bit about Franklin and Mayo.
Mayo.
He
Like whipped
I'm
eggs.
sorry. Yeah. as
I
in
love that, like.
mayonnaise.
This is Mayo.
and Cherry, like the fruit. Yeah.
We're aware
Pippin,
of
like
No,
an
it's not
apple.
food.
Yeah.
Pippin, like an apple.
No, I just thought that was a name. Damn,
thought
am I
that was just
stupid?
Wellington, like
read
beef
so many
Wellington.
Yeah, we would make this joke between the two of us as well, how our mother definitely had an affinity for cooking.
Yes.
You were probably the apple of her eye.
Oh no! Oh no, food
I
puns. We
wouldn't know.
started
So is Mayo the eggs of her eye? What is?
It's not all of the eye. I think it's just apple.
No, you've
He would
established
always
the
get a
standard.
good whipping.
Oh no! Poor Mayo.
What?
You never stood a chance.
We're talking about AO3, right?
He told me,
Mayo.
tell me,
The mayo of the eye is like a rough,
Please.
long walk.
Please don't.
sorry,
Please don't put
can
that
we
in
step
my-
aside? I feel like it's hard to have a conversation right
Sorry.
now. I know that there were 12 others, 13 in total, but the only ones he would talk about were those ones. He didn't mention anybody else.
Interesting.
No stories came up.
Did it in these stories? Are there maybe any clues about where they might have been kept?
He always chose his words very carefully.
Of course he did.
He would always be sure to let me know that, rather, he always seemed amused when I would tell him what I was up to in my training, what I was focusing on and working on. He would always have a little chuckle and tell a brief story about Cherry. As I have been told that we were born on the same day.
Yes, twins.
And he always found it amusing. Apparently, whatever I was up to, she was doing something similar somewhere else. But that's the most information I got, really. Most of his stories seemed distant to him.
They just told me that you were all dead.
Right.
I suppose they didn't want me to go looking.
Well, I get the feeling, based on the fact that he would only come visit when the overseer wasn't present, that I wasn't supposed to be hearing them things.
All right. But you don't remember leaving?
I don't. I remember others leaving. Usually, I mean, honestly, it didn't really seem like it was based on any type of merit system or age. anything like that, but occasionally, you wake up and suddenly Altea's not going to be with us no more. Or Vidania's got a mission. Stuff
So
like
you
that.
didn't see anyone leave. They were just not there.
Right.
So there's a possibility that you were being watched, being trained, so that when this night hag felt like they could use you, they would take what they wanted. Hi, baby cat.
Maybe so. I'm gonna make another roll for him. Not bad. Where's my Pippin stats?
Pippin stats.
Pippin stats.
Real Pippin stats.
I'm having a real hard time recalling. I just get not so much pictures or flashes, but just kind of feelings, if that makes sense. I felt like something wasn't right. I feel now like something wasn't right. Looking back, I'm clearly quite injured. I imagine some sort of altercation took place.
Yes, you and Miss Genevieve had were under some sort of control and attacked us while we slept. And we fought you, but you had these masks on.
I see.
And the night hag was speaking through the mask. So we fought, but once the mask broke, I realized that she set us up against people that she knew we would care about once we found out we killed you. So we... Yes.
You see, as you're saying this, Genevieve also kind of like is having this realization.
That she was totally dead for a minute.
Yeah.
No.
Rather, they both seem to be having this realization that they are both lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
And
Oh no,
Pippin kind of
Don't...
it's fine.
Okay.
I ate it, and it feels like wasabi, and I ate it, and it sucks.
Pippin kind of like looks over himself and sizes all of you up. No offense to any of you, but I've been training hard my entire life, purely for combat. Even in a 2-on-4 fight, I don't know anything about your capabilities, but I'd like to imagine in my right state of mind I would have fared better than I did.
Well, you both did very well.
That's fine. I think
But you were targeting Silas and not so much the rest
Yeah,
of us, so...
at some point, I think I had an unfair advantage, and that you might not have been yourself.
I apologize for any grief I may have caused.
Oh, it wasn't your fault.
I only used 2 skull slots, so it really wasn't.
I don't know what that means.
But speaking of having hard time remembering, before the two of you woke up, we were speaking about a friend of ours that we made at the college where our mother taught when we went there to investigate. May have something that we could use to help clear up those memories. That's what worked for Silas.
It puts you at a bit more, puts you in danger a little bit more, as this
You
hag
know.
doesn't like to have the memories relinquished.
Right. Well, I don't mind danger. I'm no stranger.
Could we maybe let him use the mirror?
I don't see why not.
Right, yeah, I feel this circlet will actually... Yeah, sure.
As this conversation is happening, Silas, you probably more tuned in than anyone else. Notice Genevieve still has this kind of like, she's like trying to be polite, and it's almost comforting that she seems to fully be back to herself. The kind of crumpled mess of Genevieve that you met with in the Temple of Ilmater back in Waterdeep appears to be fully recovered.
Is she dressed the same? Like
No, she's wearing.
She's wearing assassin clothes.
Yeah, she's wearing fitted.
She looks sick as hell.
She's wearing fitted dark leathers, all dyed black, and even to the point of the blades that they carry in these sheaths that are coated with that poison. Everything is like fully stark black. They were sent to not be noticed and take care of something in the dark.
Noticed.
Oh yeah. However, you do notice that she's frequently kind of like looking over her shoulder, in a literal sense. Like constantly will be like listening and then seems to get like distracted by something.
I'll kind of approach her, like letting others talk and kind of like in a hushed tone, just, you're fine, right?
Yeah. Do you hear that?
I don't. You've always had a more keen sense of hearing than I.
Right.
What do you hear?
It's like I can't tell where it's coming from, if it's in the trees or it's like someone's incessantly whispering and it won't.
Could you just a second, and I'll dig up the last of that protection from good and evil potion. If you could drink this, it's not to quell your nerves or anything, it's a bit of protection from this hag we've been speaking of.
I trust you with my life.
And I'm gonna
Pops the cork and instantly takes it.
I'm gonna check as she's doing that, like just walk back there.
Yeah,
and
make a
see-
perception check.
see anything. Well, 10.
10. Walking around, you don't hear anything, you don't see anything. There's the occasional squirrel leaping from tree to tree or skittering across the ground. No weird shadows on them or anything like that. Make an insight check as well. Insight or history, but let me know what you choose.
I'll go with insight. 14.
14. Yeah, you don't. You notice a couple of times as you're kind of checking out the area, you'll look back to make sure that she's all right, and she'll be like kind of looking over her shoulder in your direction, but you don't hear anything. But she, after taking the potion, she seems to still be bothered.
Okay.
Do any of us hear anything?
You can all make perception checks. Or actually, no. This would be based on your passive perceptions, because you are not canny to this situation.
Okay, mine's 17.
17? What is everybody's passive? I really need to update these.
15.
15, 17.
It's perception.
Yeah, passive.
11.
11. No, none of you hear anything that takes you away from the conversation that you're having. Speaking of. So there's a hag, and she's been taking people's memories and making them do things for her.
Yes, she's sort of also been running a cult known as the Silver Stake. They do experiments on people, hideous things we've encountered before. But perhaps we should get to the college and see if we can use the circlet, see if we can get you your memories and at least be somewhere safe. I don't feel very comfortable here.
Right. You said that we were wearing talking masks when
Yes.
we came. Are they still around?
They're in the fire.
Well, I have this one. I'll pull out the one that I have.
Make an insight check.
I'll reapproach with Genevieve, but like stand behind her in a way that if she turns around
Mhm.
looking at something, I'm there.
Yeah.
And every time she does, I'm just kind of like, Like just like a sheepish smile. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's enough to be comforting.
10?
10. You see a definite kind of look of recognition. But Pippin is very hard to read. You don't know if it's like maybe based on this training that he's referenced a couple of times or what his deal is, but he's pretty stone-faced.
If I look past him to Genevieve, does she react?
On a 10, she's not even looking. I will say on a 10, you get that Genevieve seems spooked by something. She's very twitchy.
Does this mask at all seem magical? Are there like any writings on the inside? Any like?
You can make an
etchings?
Arcana check.
Okay.
If you look interested, I'll hand it over to you.
I've definitely seen something similar. The overseer never showed us his face, but he wore something very close to that every time he would interact with us.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. There are some runes kind of inscribed in the interior. There's like this kind of silver band that goes around just around the perimeter of the interior of the kind of like concave side of the mask that has some sort of arcane glyphs and sigils of some kind. It doesn't look like a language to be read so much as an enchantment that was placed.
Do you think this could be something we can do whilst moving? Yes.
Possibly.
It's not.
Real quick, I'm gonna go through the stone arch.
Yeah.
And then I would like to smash the masks to pieces that are in the campfire.
Heck yeah, make an athletics check.
Okay. What does the archway thing give me?
Gives you advantage on
Okay.
any strength-based rolls
Hell
for
yeah.
24 hours.
15.
15? 15 is enough. They were heavily structurally weakened, and you crushed them into useless chunks of charred porcelain in the fireplace.
And put the fire out.
Yeah. It's a twofer.
Only you can prevent forest.
True.
Only Kitty.
I'm the only one that can, like, call me, seriously.
If there's a forest fire,
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
she's very busy.
So to the college?
The College of Wiltbloom, yes.
All right.
If you're not opposed.
I don't think so. We'll take up the rear. I've got a bit of
Yes, of course.
catching up to do.
Right.
I don't know where I am, so please lead the way.
Yes.
Can I take like a perimeter kind of scouting position off of all of us? Like just kind of keep circling the group?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and make a base perception check that we will carry out throughout this portion of travel.
We have a cart.
I was just gonna ask the same
Okay.
thing. Did we
We
bring
had
a
a
cart?
cart.
Or
Did you this time? You did.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. Cool.
Yeah, because we offered it to the dude that was going north,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like,
He refused. Yeah.
How fast does the cart go?
The cart,
Run this big
"How's
cart.
cart go?"
40?
traveling at a normal pace, can get you about 4 miles an hour,
Okay.
30 miles in a
Is
day.
it a covered situation?
It-
Is
Yes. Yeah, it's the same as the one that you recently had that you gave away to those shitty bandits.
Is it dark in the back of it? Like if it were all closed, even in the daylight?
No, some light would get in.
Oh.
It's imagine a covered wagon, but instead of wagon wheels, it's got legs.
Of course. I just didn't know if it was, like blackout covered wagon or.
No, just canvas.
Blackout wagon.
Regular canvas.
Okay, so I can go 55 feet every 6 seconds. Can I keep up with this cart if I'm not in it?
Yes, but you'll be risking exhaustion
Right.
because you'll just be running for a full day.
That's fine.
You guys are. I think you guys are actually 2 days outside of Kalim. No, you're 2 days outside of Korkathmith, which is then another day from Kalima by wagon. So, yeah, you get very tired. But if you'd
Okay,
like to
that's
take
fine.
up like a position on top of the
I'll sit
wagon,
on top.
rad. You can go ahead and make your perception check with advantage because you've got a vantage point.
Gorgeous. 22.
All right. The rest of you pile in, Silas and Genevieve sitting towards the back.
I'll drive.
Yeah, Pippin sits next to Cholula driving. Aurora is up top. Or no, sorry. Rabbit. I almost said Alma again, too. Rabbit.
Gone, okay?
She's never giving me. I don't know why I said it like that. Rabbit is up top, and Aurora is seated comfortably in the front portion of the wagon. As you travel, Silas, you have some catching up to do.
I want to first take Genevieve, like sitting like cross-legged, like facing Genevieve, and just take her hands and just start with. I'm gonna eat these little piggies. Let's.
Just want to say that she punches you.
I am not
Couples
into
are-
it.
Yeah, Aurora's like 6 feet away, but still like.
Our daughter's dead.
Disgusting. Oh God.
That's how you deliver bad news. Look, candy. Your daughter's dead.
Who's dead?
Men.
Yeah.
Who's dead?
What does this say? Almost dead. That is what it says. You said it. I didn't.
Bringing you the hard-hitting roleplay. Here at Arcanarama.
No, I'm
This is how we cope.
yeah, I'm gonna take her hands and okay. I imagine you're hearing voices. Maybe not discernible right now.
Yeah, I can't tell what they're saying, but sometimes they get awful loud.
I want you to know that it's fine. It'll be very tiresome. Never mind that.
Why are those shifters tearing up the front of the cot like that?
I thought it was rabbit.
Trying to make the
honestly.
cockpit more comfortable.
I think they do it because they're happy. They feel safe.
I want to ask you something. I'd like for you to listen to them. It seemed to help Alma a lot. It doesn't seem right at first, but you can ask them for things, I think. If my theory's right. It seems a bit odd now, but when we get to the college, it'll make more sense.
Of course, I'll try to be more accepting.
Right, yes.
Sorry, that's totally Pippin.
Yeah.
I'll try to be more accepting.
Yeah. That was a good impression.
Thank you.
You've only just met him, and he's just so good at it.
Yeah, I sometimes I can't help it. You know, you like start talking to someone with an accent, and you have to mirror it. It's
Yeah.
subconscious.
Trust me, I know. I've run into a lot of Roscoe's. We... it's... We were trying to get you back. You probably don't want to hear it. I can tell.
I'd rather not. I'm still a Southern man. I'd rather not. It doesn't... How long ago did this happen?
Not long.
We had some travel.
Forever.
It's been a couple 10-day, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a few days.
No, it's been more than a few days. Took you a few days to get from Korkathmith back to Lugreve.
No, I don't have time.
I do.
It feels like no time and forever.
There are ways. There might still be some of her Do you still have some of her belongings?
Aurora does.
Right.
I have a lot of her money.
You have her sword.
I I know. I mean, I don't know anyone. We're not in or around Waterdeep, are we?
Yeah. And then I'm just going to regale her of everything that happened.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to
For the next 30 minutes of travel, you catch her up on Arcanarama Season 1.
Yeah. I tell her.
Just go
I
watch
tell
YouTube.
her. Yeah. I tell her it's a playlist on YouTube, and that we're working on clips. But
Yeah, there's a link in our about.
Her brain
Yeah.
shorts out.
Yeah.
She doesn't
So
know
there's
what
this
the
thing
internet is.
called the internet.
You get caught up to present.
Yeah.
I see.
She's like still broken up about Ollie.
That's
Aurora sniffles just in the corner,
Yeah.
hearing it all happen again.
He tries to avoid a lot of specific Alma things, just trying to catch her up to
yeah.
the kind of that.
There was one attempt already made in Corcathmith, you said. It might be more challenging, and I definitely don't know anyone in Mistinor at all, let alone someone who would be capable, but there are those in Waterdeep who, for a price, can bring someone back.
The thing is, I don't think she wanted to come back.
Things are different now. I remember the brief interruptions to those long, unending spells of trying to hold that dress together and getting ready to go and then forgetting where I was.
Is that what you're wearing?
She would visit me almost every day when she could, I think. I just hate the thought that that's the last memory she has of me. It's me like that. At this point, I don't know what's become of the manor or any of our assets, but even if she doesn't want to come back, I think it would be worth it to try. If you think it would be worth it to try. At this point, everyone on the car is probably listening in.
Yeah.
I am
Can the
sobbing.
people outside of it hear all of this?
Yeah, you're probably like right above them, listening through canvas. It's not like soundproof.
Cool.
It's a thin layer of cloth.
The guy at the temple said sometimes these things don't take if the other side doesn't want it. Do I get the impression what she's offering is it's going to happen no matter what?
Make an insight check. Or an arcana check. Or no, this would be insight or religion. Your choice.
Insight. Which is a 21.
21. No. Based on what she's saying, it sounds like it's still not a sure thing.
If it would make you feel better, we can do that.
I think everyone in the cart's like,
I think it would. I think it would be worth trying.
If I could have spent every day trying, I would have. Helen, we have the money to.
I've only ever heard of it being attempted once. A fellow by the name of want to say Castellander? But it seemed to work out for their family.
I can tell you it didn't.
I'm sorry?
Maybe a story for
Right,
another time.
Victoro, and right, you had not Victoro Castellander. His, I believe, was his uncle on his father's side. Had a smaller, quaint, nothing like Castellanter Villa, that opulent eyesore.
Burn.
Hardcore.
Apparently his wife was taken from him and unjustly on the road, and he didn't have the time to get her to a temple for any treatment. She passed away, and it was said that nothing could be done. But
I need you to promise me that you won't make any bargains in the next 2 10-day. Yes? Of any sort.
does right now count? Or should I say you've got a deal?
I'm being serious. Think of the fawn that you saw. I want to say I'm sorry.
I don't blame you. I don't think there was anything any of us could have done.
But there was. I think it was. I think it was wanting to know is what made that happen, right? I could have just been someone who didn't know who he was. I could have just been another beggar just screaming memories that he can barely grasp onto.
But you're not.
I was assigned to your family. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Father did. I didn't care then, and I don't care.
Like a 30-second sigh. Like it escapes Silas. Yeah. Like if anyone's tracking us, they could smell Silas's breath for a fucking half a mile as it just.
When the time comes, when we get to the end of this business with hags and Miss Sonor, there's a priestess to the Dark Light in Waterdeep. She's the one who carried out the ritual. I don't know if she's still alive, even. But apparently, she works miracles in the names of the goddess of the moon. So,
The goddess of what?
the goddess of the moon.
I thought you said ruin? And I'm
The goddess
not
of
sitting
ruin.
Far
She's
away.
really good. I know what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the Dark Light is the goddess of the moon, which is a neutral deity that you don't know much about.
It's something we can look into.
She takes your hand and kind of squeezes it. It's hope.
How many more days did we say we had? 12?
Now 11.
Oh.
Genevieve, And a 10-day. I'm not sure if I'm going to be coming back. I think I've accepted that.
She kind of straightens herself up. Well, now you have to.
She hits you.
You feel the familiar crack of a whip that you've not felt in many years.
She just slowly puts a ball gag on me. You remember?
Still in the car.
I swear to God, if that's a part of God,
We don't kink shame here at Arcanarama.
I
But we don't, though.
You have to accept all of them.
do. No, I like hell I do.
We don't king shame here. We strengthen them by spraying starch on them and ironing them.
Just crisp.
And I would say,
Crisp kinks.
unless Silas has anything else that he would like to say.
No, I mean, I think that was everything I didn't want to say.
Yeah, Genevieve just kind of leans in, puts her head on your chest for the rest of the ride. Is there anything else that anyone's getting up to on the car ride? What did you roll for perception, by the way?
22.
Nice, not bad. Rad.
Danger can't sneak up on me.
So, over the next couple of days of travel back towards Kalima, I'm presuming?
Yeah.
I would say if you skip Corkathmith, you could probably shave a day's travel.
Okay,
Yeah.
Grandpa.
I mean, if we needed anything in Corkathmith, we already investigated your home.
You already told your brother about it.
We could get more porridge.
We
I
could.
swear to God.
It's like 15 and a half years now.
Just wait till we hit that time zone.
Dude, yeah. That 17 year, though, it starts to get sweet. It's weird.
It's not sweet.
No, porridge by default is just
No,
like,
it's savory.
it's kind of just like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want some.
It's got meats in it.
Meat!
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been around for
It is kept at an
15
acceptable temperature.
yeah.
Yeah, but meat still goes bad. For sure.
Yeah, but she sells enough that it's not
No,
a
it's
problem.
fine. Never mind. We don't need to
Anyway,
right now.
outside of the 15-year porridge
What
at
we're saying
Sunspot
is
Parlor.
we can skip Corkathmith.
Wonderful. So, over the next couple of days of travel, if I could have somebody roll a d4.
Hello. I can do it. Yeah, no, you do it. Oh, fuck.
I'll do
okay.
it.
No, it's fine.
Oh.
I already, no, I already picked it up. 1.
It's bees.
Shadow bees.
No!
During your
Our
travel,
one weakness.
the first person to notice is Rabbit. This is during your second day of travel. You're getting closer to, you're about a half day out from Kalima. Rabbit, first you notice a small clearing off to the side of this tentative trail that you're taking. And you see a nice little pool. The sun's starting to get low in the sky. Probably time to make camp if you wanted. Or if you guys want to try and push through the night, you can do that as well.
It's up to the
No.
driver.
Cholula is driving.
Mhm.
She's up in the front.
Mhm.
And I'm on the back.
Mhm.
Cool. I'm gonna lean over the canvas. I'm just gonna like put my fingers on the top of her head and move it towards the little clearing and lake.
My first reaction is to just like fucking
I would
knife
like-
up.
Yeah, I would say Cholula like grabs a knife and starts going up, and Pippin like very deftly sticks a hand out and like stops you before you can impale Rabbit. We're looking up and realizing it's Rabbit.
I will pet his head.
What?
There's a lovely little lake, pond situation.
We could stop
clear?
and make camp for the night if
Yeah.
getting
take a
late.
break. It's been a long couple days.
That sounds nice.
All right.
I haven't really had a chance to relax myself. She's been leaning on me the whole time.
The whole time.
Right.
2 days.
You signed up for this.
You pull off the path and find yourself at a nice little freshwater pond. Gives you presents you an opportunity to refill your water skins and set up a little camp for the night.
That's what I call my body.
Technically, yeah.
Your water skins.
I just get down on all fours, just whoa. I was looking a little skinny.
Can I do like a perimeter sweep
Yeah, absolutely. Make a
in this
perception
area
check.
before we set up camp?
Really
Ever
quick,
vigilant.
before I go to bed, can I try to take my crossbow and practice with any nighttime wildlife that can move?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Go ahead and make your dexterity.
Glad you clarified the movement. That's
Well,
good.
you-
You didn't just walk up to like a paralyzed rabbit. Guys, I think I'm getting the hang of it.
I was practicing with targets, and you're like, no, moving targets.
Yeah, you should do moving targets.
Dirty 20. You get the sense that this area is clear of any present danger.
Great.
You also notice within this little pool, you see the glinting in the rising moonlight of numerous gold coins along the bottom.
Yeah, I did it.
Right.
Success?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and you managed to catch several silverback squirrels and probably one rainbow pheasant as well.
Silverback squirrels?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what it sounds like.
They beat their chests.
And they're very
Wild.
strong.
But they're little.
Yeah. There.
Just rip an acorn in half.
Listen, I swear to God, I want art of that next.
How deep is this? Like, pond?
You can see the bottom all the way across. It's maybe 4 feet at the deepest.
That's it? Yeah, I'm gonna start scrounging up coin.
Yeah, you wade in out to where you see the coins and begin scooping them up. And the moment that they leave the water's surface, your hands are empty.
Oh no, that's not fair. You don't get to make mirage coins in the water. If I kick the water, are the coins still under there, or do they?
Yeah,
like, disappear?
they're visible in the ripples. You felt them; they were tangible
That's bullshit.
until your hands exit the water. And then
What is it that you're yelling about
Come here.
in the middle of the?
Come here. Come here. Come to the middle of the lake with me.
everyone
I'm to
gathers.
get. I'm to get in the water because you're mad. Okay, right. I see coins. We have plenty of these.
Oh, we have plenty of these, so more don't matter to us. We're
They
just
don't have
swimming in.
as much as we do.
But I will go to pick up the coins.
Yeah, you show everyone. She grabs the coins and lifts them, and as her hands breach the surface of the water, suddenly there are no coins.
Well, that's because you're doing it wrong. No.
Right? You get the coins.
And in dad fashion, just like, well,
Same thing.
Sleeves.
can I like bundle?
Yeah, Pippin takes like a little leather sack that
Yeah.
he has that's empty, and he like scoops a couple of them in, like traps it. He's like, maybe you got to keep it in the water.
Well, how are you going to spend it if it's in? What are you going to just bring water to a store?
They might have an aquarium.
Oh, don't spend those right away. They have to stay in water. What are you saying?
I feel like now is an excellent time to inform you that I have never stepped foot inside of a shop in my life, so I don't know what to
Sometimes
expect.
they do have aquariums, I assume.
I mean, maybe there's some
But they
places
don't
that take
put
water
money
coins.
in.
I can still feel him in there in the water.
Oh,
Well,
really?
let me try.
Yeah, he like opens it up and looks in. Yeah, he like shows all of you. It's like it's holding water, but there are coins sitting in it as well.
How many? Like 2?
It's like 4.
Worth it!
You know
that
what?
a
You
lot?
hold on to that, and the next time we go to a shop, you can spend that money, and they will be so happy to have it, won't they, Cholula?
I think maybe I will, sir.
And you're just going to put that on your side.
Wait, do
It's
you
leather, it'll hold.
Have, Pippin, do you have another? Do you have another bag?
That's my only one. I could try to get more coins in there. I could probably scoop up quite a
Does
few.
anybody
Get as
have a
many coins as you
jar?
can. Shops love coins. It's the thing that they like the most.
Kitten, you tend to pick up things in jars. Do you have an empty jar?
Likely.
Why are we all standing in water? Like, I'm just like, wait out.
Genevieve's like
Shake
watching from the
my
shore.
boots out. It's just coins. I don't know what they're fucking doing. The coins that can't exit the water. This place is
Oh, I'm
fucking
Silas.
ridiculous.
I'm
Didn't
so rich that it doesn't matter if I get more wealth. I'm just so wealthy.
I'm gonna pick up a rock and skip it at Rabbit.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Is that a missile?
Yes, it is.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. Roll a d4, doubled, and add your dexterity modifier. You added your oh yeah, well it doesn't matter because it was a nat 20. But as a tavern brawler, you had proficiency with that rock.
I would like to deflect missiles.
Absolutely. Let's see what the damage is.
That's gonna be less. I mean, it's. So it's
The d4
yeah, it's,
doubled plus your dexterity.
That's 14
14.
points of damage.
That is
Brock expertly is like
22 to catch it.
rabbit
And I'd like
snatches
to
it
send it back.
and spins a key point and skips it faster back towards you. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Just d20 plus your dex.
I would like to deflect missiles.
Are we having a beach episode right now?
We could use it. That's true.
I'm renaming this. It's the beach episode now.
Just plus my dex.
Yeah, you are not proficient with rocks, unfortunately.
Oh, no, that's true. But wait, there is something on here. It is +7 to hit for deflect missiles. Like if I click deflect missiles attack,
Oh,
it says +7.
oh, then fuck yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just,
cool.
It's just a ranged dex-based weapon.
Yeah, I didn't know that it gave you proficiency in the thing. That's cool.
19.
A 19 would hit. So go ahead and roll a d4 plus your dexterity.
Oh, this is 1d6 +4.
It does? It changes the damage of the whole thing?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. That's cool, but also kind of sad.
That's why I wrecked
Okay, so hang on.
Genevieve with that arrow when I got up.
Yeah, so now we need to go back, and I need you to roll a d6 instead of a d4 for your damage. And we're going to see if you still would have caught it. If you
It
remember-
was still a 22 to catch.
22, but he did crit. So
Okay.
if he rolls 6 double to 12, what is your dexterity?
Does deflect missile change what his initial?
So wait, does it have an additional
1d6 +4.
plus? And is +4 is your dexterity modifier as well?
Yeah. Damage
We're
on
really
deflect
getting
missiles attack.
super
is 1d6
crunchy.
I have to
+4.
know.
Game. Right. Yeah. So you roll.
So roll a d6.
So 12 is
Is
the
it
maximum.
so? Before you roll a
that
d6,
you
is
can
it
have
yeah?
here.
Is it possible for you to roll higher damage than 22 on a crit with a d6 plus your dexterity?
So what are you rolling to?
Please answer my question.
Yeah. Okay. So
If you rolled, if you hypothetically rolled a 6
a 6 would be that.
12
Would be 12 plus
plus
7, which would be 19.
plus
But
7
it's-
is your dexterity. No, it's just your dexterity.
It's just my dex.
That's your to hit.
No, it's not possible to. I'm asking
Okay.
how the 22 was.
Okay, so you
was
don't need to
made.
re-roll.
Oh, because my deflect missiles is 1d10
Yeah.
plus 12.
For those of you at home that are confused about what we're talking about.
So confused.
I thought you rolled a 20. I thought you rolled a d20. I was like, why?
No. So there is a monk feature called deflect missiles. If somebody attacks you with a missile, which is any projectile, aka a thrown rock, if it would hit you, you can roll a d10, I believe,
Yeah.
plus
1d10 plus some numbers.
plus
that are
some numbers. And if you roll higher than the damage you would have taken, you catch said missile. And then you can spend a key point to throw it back at whoever sent it at you. So we're trying to just calculate
Yeah.
if he would, because I had him roll a d4 instead of a d6 like he should have. I was just trying to calculate if it would have been possible for you to have missed. It's not.
No.
Yeah.
So you send it back.
19
Go ahead.
to hit.
Yeah. So roll a d6 plus your dexterity.
That is 7.
I rolled a 17.
Yeah, there's.
You catch it again. Would you like to
even
spend a
your,
key
just
point?
your base deflect missiles, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. I think this is pretty much just a game of
Key
either
points.
who misses first or who runs out of key points first.
I'll catch it and just drop it like out of, and then like
Yeah.
shake the water out of one of my boots.
Yeah, there's this knowing look between
You
the two
could
of
have
you
used
that
your boots to get some coins.
Pippin is like halfway through taking off a boot. Puts it back on.
That's a good boy.
I'd have to put my foot back in it, and that's where the water would come out.
But maybe not all the water needs to have like a little pool, but you would get like
It would
a weird.
eventually dry.
It would also be really uncomfortable walking
Yeah.
around
I've
on
been dealing
coins.
with this whole time. Like it's not. I'm alone out here. It's mostly me saying, well, maybe we don't do that. Then everyone's like, you're an old man.
Genevieve is like giggling as you're going on one of your classic Silas rants.
Yeah. And I put my boots close to the fire.
I remembered after the last session
Aha.
that I was working on my strength modifier.
Absolutely.
And I was on the last one, and I think it's at a DC 19. Yes.
Yes.
Has it been? It's been more than 24 hours since we left the last site.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been about 2 days.
So I don't have the archway
No. No more archery.
strength advantage.
Which, by the way, we're now at 9 days until Hag Fight.
Hack fight.
Hag Fight!
Hag fight.
So Cholula is working on her strength score being raised. Anybody else want to do anything with their downtime?
Yeah. What's Pippin up to at this current improvised moment?
Sitting by the fire and drying himself as well.
Okay.
Probably opposite the fire to you, to your boots.
Oh no.
Oh, is that a natural one?
It's one of those.
Yeah.
It's one of those boring numbers.
So no success is made.
And it goes up to 20.
She looked offended.
How dare!
Does he have his weapons near him?
Yeah, he's still wearing them.
It's dark outside.
It's dim light. You're sitting by a fire.
I'm going to kind of get up and kind of shuffle off as though I'm going to the bathroom. But when I get about 10 feet behind him, I'm going to put my hand over my sword and whistle very loudly.
Okay.
You're what?
You do so.
My sword. What? I said
I
sword.
think he said he's coming on to your brother.
Yeah.
In front of his wife.
Almost the instant that a sound exits your mouth, instinctively, he just kind of casually turns around and notices you. But I'll say you notice that in that instant also, his hand instantly went to the dagger at his waist. Or sorry, not a dagger, a short sword. Did you notice something?
No, I think we're fine.
Silas, why are you being weird?
I'm not being weird. I'm just checking everyone who's here. We can't
you
just.
don't have to
carry-
test everyone.
I do.
Make a quick perception check.
Oh my god.
Did she just knock a bunch of your dice off?
Just one.
I was almost more.
18.
18.
12 plus.
I have so many. Don't
You also notice where you left her, a little short ways away from you, Genevieve with almost a slightly slower but comparable reaction speed, also instinctively placed a hand at the short sword on her side. And seems to take this moment of panic, but then noticing that it was you that whistled and kind of relaxes and goes back to what she was doing, probably eating something that Cholula's prepared.
Probably squirrels.
Hell
I
yeah.
brought my score.
We just have to make sure that everyone's on their toes. And then
I'm gonna pull out the sharpener and make do an alarm spell for the night.
Yeah, if you do so. Pippin's kind of stretching out by the fire. No, I fully agree. If anyone's open to it, maybe we could do some light sparring in the morning. Keep our blood up and make sure that we are prepared. As we continue to travel the road, it can be dangerous in certain areas, I'm told.
If anybody's open to it, I'm open to taking a long enough watch that you can all get a full night's rest, and then I'll sleep on the cart, just in case any shenanigans go down.
that sounds good. Yes, I was going to suggest some kind of protection from good and evil if anyone still has potions of flowers.
Then you can just call me protection from good and evil.
And while you're taking your rest on the cart, I can take up your perch and keep an eye out.
High five, Pippin.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm gonna sit in a tree. I want to get high.
Hey.
Bro!
Where are you? Just get a blade of grass.
Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage.
Ayo, 24.
24. Throughout the evening, it's mostly you're getting into areas more populated with tropical trees and flora. And the night's pretty quiet. Everybody settles down. You take occasional breaks to come down from your perch and add a couple more twigs to the fire, logs, I should say, to keep it going throughout the night. And the night passes without incident. You all awaken the next morning, feeling rested, except for Rabbit, but soon to be alleviated. Pippin gets up. Oh, well. Interested in some morning training?
It's usually go for a run, do a bit of calisthenics, but sure, yeah, we can do that. Just need to get a bit limber.
Right, yeah, let's do some stretches first, and then we can have a little spa.
Are there any
Dive
shadows
into the back
as I'm
of the
doing some stretches?
Do what?
Are there any noticeable shadows
Yeah.
as I'm doing some stretches? Cool.
Yeah, they're scattered all around the area.
Right, I think Cholula should run referee on this one.
I'm cooking this pheasant. You do what you want.
Fine, then, Genevieve, you run.
Sure.
Yeah,
what
just,
do-
just make sure nothing goes.
What do I do?
Right, so no blood drawn. That's too ridiculous. We're not trying to kill each other.
Right, what weapons stay sheathed?
Sure, yeah.
Maybe. She kind of like looks through her things. Feels like seeing if she has anything useful. It's like noticing things for the first time that she has on her. She has a number of leather strips. Maybe we can tie these around your weapons to, make sure nothing can come out of its sheath.
No, I can just kind of toss my weapon out of its sheath.
Oh, okay.
There's always that.
I'll tie mine up. I will be using them. ties it up, unhooks everything, kind of like gets it in his hands, ready to go. Just the short sword. And if I could have Silas roll initiative.
Fuck. I thought you would just describe that I won, and then we'd just move on.
Said it would happen.
It's a good one.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
I knew it.
7.
Very good.
Do you know how to take a long rest on D&D Beyond, but on your phone? Because I know how to do it on my iPad.
It's a little campfire.
All right, so
Oh, you just reloaded it.
as the two of you take your positions, everybody's stretched out and limbered up. Genevieve stands nearby.
Do you need a try?
Go!
Oh, no.
And
Well, we don't. Okay, right.
Pippin is up first.
For some reason, it won't let me on.
He... Oh, hang on, give me 2 seconds.
However, this has reinstilled the fear of a paper copy backup. I was literally just this last weekend like, I don't need these paper
Yeah, but
copies.
with
I
casters,
just-
it's such a
absolutely.
nightmare.
Yes. Yeah,
Unless we have all the spell cards.
I'm thinking about.
That's expensive.
I'm thinking.
Sorry, I misspoke earlier. Pippin doesn't have a short sword, he has a rapier.
Oh.
But he does keep it in its sheath. Which is to say, all of this will be non-lethal damage that we won't stack up. He is going to kind of rush very quickly forward into your space and kind of does a tactical roll around the side of you very quickly and is going to make an attack on you. 22 to hit.
It does.
You know what? Fuck it. We're not going to mess with damage.
Yeah.
We're just going to say he hits you.
Okay.
And is going to use his bonus action to disengage and back up probably about 20 feet. And that's going to end his turn. That brings us to Silas.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn towards him and just kind of get in like the first illustration that you made of Silas, and just go into patient defense.
All right. Some appropriate music.
Yes, sir.
I was so prepared. Okay.
You are.
All right. Back on Pippin's turn. He is going to do the same thing. He rushes up, rolls around to the other side, and is going to attempt to attack you. What's this thing? Not as good. That's 17.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. He has disadvantage.
I'm trying to
17.
find it. It's buried. Yeah, there it is.
Does 17 hit?
It does. It meets.
Meets it. Beats it. He swooshes in, takes you another hit, and once again disengages with his bonus action and rolls back away.
Okay. The same.
He backs up on his next turn. He's kind of like, typically more helpful if you... That's not Pippin's voice. Fuck. It's typically more helpful if you put in some attacks as well. And he's going to actually roll to the side and duck around a tree and attempt to disappear into the foliage. Okay. He does so. What is your passive perception?
My PP? Is 16.
16. Okay. He vanishes among the leaves and trees and bushes.
Cool. Could I take a perception check in that area on my turn?
Yeah, as a bonus action.
Dice.
Cocky. Don't get cocky, kid. That's 18.
Nowhere to be seen.
Cool. I'm going to, if there's shadows in that area, I'm going to transport over there if I could.
Yeah, just in the direction that you saw him disappear. Yeah, you do so, and you find yourself standing in another place.
Okay.
Genevieve quickly rushes over to be in the same area. It takes her a second to find you. Anything else on your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay. Out of nowhere, coming from behind you, still. Oh, fuck off. Still a 17.
Yeah.
With advantage. Worth noting, this one catches you in the ribs from behind and would have been a hearty blow if we were dealing damage right now.
Okay. Are all the duvets rogue types?
All the duvets are killers. We know
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
I've only ever met one.
Well, I'm meeting another.
However, he's then going to back away from you. He's not going to disengage. You can take an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Go for it.
That's 20 dirty.
20 hits. How do you attack him as he's backing away?
I'm just gonna lunge forward and just grapple his shoulders if I could.
Are you trying to grapple him?
Just
'Cause that's
flavor. It's not a hit. I'm not trying to punch this person. I'm just trying to grab roughly, but not grapple.
You do so. What would have been a hit, which he quickly pulls out of and rolls backwards, does kind of 2 backward somersaults into a bush, and then silence. As he uses his bonus action to hide again.
Do I perceive him?
That's
Right
the
on.
end of his turn.
Yeah.
It is
could
now
I
your
perceive
turn.
him?
You can use a bonus action to try.
That is 22.
Nowhere to be seen.
All right. I give. This one's good, and then I'll walk back.
That was pretty good. He comes around from behind you somehow.
No, I turn away from him to walk away in front of me. Right. Okay. Yes.
I feel good. We should probably keep making some time, yeah?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm really glad.
Breakfast.
Rabbit didn't see that. Oh, breakfast is ready. That's
I want to use some of the spices that we took from my old house.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you make?
I'm making some pheasant, dude. I probably just have like my cast iron and season it really well, like a ton of seasoning and salt, pepper, and a little bit of I probably have like little tiny bits of oil.
There's plenty
And
of squirrel too.
Just sear it on one side and then flip it over and put the lid on and just keep it over the fire and let it like slow cook so it doesn't dry out.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a performance check, but essentially this is a performance check, but I'm going to say use your dexterity and your proficiency
Okay.
to cook.
To cook.
I don't think we've actually done a roll to prepare for Cholula yet.
No.
I think we did in the tavern.
Probably once or twice.
Yeah, like on the grand opening.
Yeah. This is probably different from how we did it then, but it makes sense to my brain right now.
That's a lot.
Is it like the Breath of the Wild cooking sound?
17.
Whoa.
17.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, I'm so sorry, and you got it up to almost 10 points. Oh no.
It could have been like really good though.
No, it is delicious. You all partake in this mildly spicy but very elegantly presented pheasant. Cooked over an open fire. It's got that nice kind of smoky taste to it. The seasoning from the cast iron and the seasoning mixed in from the Duvet household. And you swear you catch just the smallest tear in the corner of Pippin's eye that he wipes away. Probably the best meal he's had that he remembers.
Fuck yeah. What did we do with the mead that we found?
The berry mead that
Yeah.
you found on those kids. I
Yeah.
think you have it.
Okay, but we were like, we shouldn't drink it,
I
right?
have something like
some
that
reason.
in some notes.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking it would have been nice to like splash some of that in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I forgot that we had it when we got to the college and we're talking about like we found these students, you know,
Going
and
out to
their
party.
mead, but we just didn't mention it.
Yeah.
I guess it's ours now.
So did you
Alma's
retcon
inventory
cooking?
has 2 bottles of wine in it, which means that Aurora currently has 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah. I think Cholula has the mead specifically. I
Yeah.
think you put it in your bag.
It was like a 12-pack, right?
Yeah, it was enough. No, it was a.
It was a 6.
I think it was an 8. It was enough for each of the 4 students to have a couple.
Oh, okay. Tight.
Yeah. So yeah, use like a half of one of those bottles to reduce and make a nice addition. Really push the flavors. I believe it was lavender berry mead. Sounds really good.
I like the way that you strike and then disengage. You keep them guessing. That's something that I've been trying to implement myself, but
Right. Yeah. It's. I find it very helpful. I don't have a lot of strength on my side, as I'm sure you
Right.
can see.
But you have to use what you're capable of, right?
Exactly,
So
which
it's
is
an adjustment.
getting the hell out of there.
Right. Yes. Yeah. When I'm not using my friend, I have to get out. But I don't mind being close when he's being implemented. I say he. I really don't know.
I don't either.
Well, it's a shadow of you, so.
Right. I'm not gonna just stand around nude and find out. Right. Like it's.
But I'll turn around.
I guess I could. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Uh,
Are you crying? You're comes like this all the time.
It's the strangest thing. It's just I know for a fact I've never had a meal this good, but for some reason it feels familiar. Also, your shadow's dick is fully out right now.
It's just like fucking
Helicoptering.
Maybe
I got jinx.
maybe they identify as. I'm just gonna push the foot. It's really great. just
We should probably get going.
it's me. That's the worst part.
Well,
I can see myself doing it, and I would never.
Genevieve kind of like steps to the side so that her shadow covers.
My shadows.
I got a shadow blade for you.
That's the worst.
And you all pile back into the cart after breakfast and head out for Kalima, which is about a half day's travel away. So you'll be arriving right at about 2 p.m.
In Kalima.
in Kalima, yes. Specifically at Wiltbloom, the campus. So as you all pile back in and begin heading in that direction, we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back soon, but before we go, I should probably tell you how to enter for your chance to win this wonderful mystery mini giveaway from More Fun
Map
Comics
shot.
and Games.
How can they win?
They can win by going to the chat right here on Twitch right now as it's happening, and they can type the word family in the chat.
family.
Family.
Guys, it's us.
Family.
But
That's
what if
family
you take
F-A-M-I-L-Y.
Olive Garden to go?
Oh.
Then you're not there.
It's good.
If
Then
not
you're once
here,
removed.
That's theft.
You come to the little to-go counter at this side, and they're just like, "Here you go. I thought you were fam.
Yeah, I thought we were fam, bro, but you're gonna leave again.
Get out of here."
Were you going to the bathroom or
Seriously,
something?
that's a 10-minute parking space. You have to go.
So
Can't stay here.
enter family in the chat for your chance to win this wonderful set of mystery minis gifted to us to gift to you by More Fun Comics and Game, which is our local comic book shop.
Well, you stop and shop.
Yeah.
Oh, they just re-upped on like all of the My Hero stuff too. Like
Yeah, I saw
zero,
that.
Zero to like everything.
Yeah, they got plushies. Hell yeah, we'll be back in 20 minutes. We'll see you then to announce the winner. Bye. Welcome back. Before we continue our adventure, we've got a giveaway to announce.
Put your eyes on this.
Yeah. Look at it. It's from More Fun Comics and Games. And the winner of this set of mystery minis that we're giving away, I hope you can hear me over the claps, because I'm not going to stop.
I said what I said.
The winner is Joshua93.
Hey, that's
93.
a name I don't recognize.
Yeah,
of
I don't
the
think I've
13
ever-
people we always have watching.
I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Congratulations, Joshua.
It's in it.
Our stream director, Robbie, I assume, will probably get in contact with you via Twitch Whispers to figure out where that's going.
Don't do it.
Oh, I see. I'm with it now.
Or you can join our Discord, I guess.
Yeah.
He just reads it over my shoulder.
I forgot to look because I was doing a lot of other things, but I see that some of our giveaway winners have been posting their giveaway stuff that has arrived
In the Discord.
in the Discord, which is super awesome. You should post that on social media and tag Arcanarama Show.
And also more fun comics.
So that people will believe us when we say we're giving things away.
Yeah.
We've been talking about a couple of things. Nothing's set in stone yet. But, I mean, obviously we have the charity stream where when we hit 200 followers, we're going to make all the monsters in the Monster Manual sexy because we are all accomplished artists.
Yeah.
Well, those are awesome man titties.
Yeah, and some thing titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're
And
thinking...
also, if we get to 100 subscribers on YouTube and we get our own link, I will do all my anime boys. I have a full list of hot anime men. I'll also draw them more hotter. So
This is the new currency that she's proposing.
Titties.
Is anime titty.
Hex.
Yeah.
So, do everything you can. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell your online friends. Tell your Discord friends. Tell your internet friends. Tell your fake friends. Tell your real friends. Tell your frenemies and everybody else about the show and bring them in. And we will do whatever we can to... I don't want to set a milestone yet. Maybe we'll call it 250.
Yeah, we have a meeting at the end of the month. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can do that.
we'll set a more solid number, but once we get to a certain point in likes, follows, I should say, here on Twitch, we'll start making some juicy giveaways. Yeah. Speaking of juicy giveaways, but not quite as juicy as that, our next giveaway for the evening is the Fantasy Forge New Moon dice. Whoa. They are beautiful and sparkly and filled with black glitter. They look exactly like that. You would be dice twins with our very own Taylor.
Dice twins.
Look like Sam the Eagle.
Yeah.
You kind of also that one guy. I don't remember.
Man.
Is it a Muppet?
Nope, it's a guy.
Well, I mean,
Robert
Sam
De
the
Niro.
Eagle
There you
is
go, De Niro. I kept thinking DeVito because we talked about DeVito earlier.
Danny De Niro. To enter for your chance to win the Fantasy Forge New Moon dice set, type the word reunion in the chat. That's reunion, REUNION. I think I spelled that right. If I didn't, just do it how I did it.
Reunion.
Nope, it's not spelled like onion.
It is, actually, if you think about it. Sam the Eagle is a guy.
Yeah.
Is
The
he?
guy. All Muppets are people on the inside.
Okay,
In the Cars universe.
I'll accept that. I accept that as fact.
I don't know what's happening.
If you go up to your favorite Muppet and tear its skin off, it's just a person's hand.
I knew that, but like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Technically, there's like stuffing first.
I feel like there was some connections that happened, and I didn't get them.
Sam
Well,
the Eagle
anyway.
is a Muppet.
Looks like it.
On that note, let's hop back in to tonight's episode. There's been a bit more travel in the cart. You guys good?
I really don't. Are we okay?
I think they broke up.
We made eye contact and we just didn't break. We just both kept it. I didn't know what to do, so I just kept it. It felt rude to break.
Shall we continue? All right.
Let's roll for it.
So, you find yourselves atop your animated cart, continuing. Rabbit, you've gotten your long rest in the most recent 4 hours as you have continued your travel, entering the city of Kalima, and eventually probably parking at a stable and finding your way to the Wiltbloom College of Magic and Mystery. That's not the full title. Wiltbloom College of Magic.
I'd be so mad at any business that adds and mystery to the end of what they do.
Wait,
Do
Subway sandwiches and mystery.
there's already a lot of mysteries behind that counter.
But I like the concept
Yeah.
of adding mystery to food
Yeah.
places.
Bed Bath and Beyond and mysteries.
So for the sake of brevity, which we are sorely lacking right now, I have to say, what is your plan here at Wiltbloom? You guys are getting relatively familiar with the layout of the campus. You still need assistance to get into the extra dimensional space, but it's easy enough.
We're fine. We're trying to find Baldwin,
All
We're
right.
trying to get that circlet going.
the dean. I also would kind of like to check in on Roscoe.
All right.
Yeah.
That is tougher to do. We will start with Valdwin.
Okay.
So,
Oh no.
That's the easy part.
That's probably
so it is the day time. So you are, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
I feel them.
What happened during the break?
Everything.
I feel them.
Hey, thanks Avenging Penguin for tweeting about us.
You're the best.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Avenging
Penguin. So, you make your way through the snaking, winding halls of Widdershan's Hall, the kind of pod-like tree portion of the campus, and eventually find a student, track one down that lets you in through the portal into the extra-dimensional space, because you know that Valdwin during the day would be in his office taking a rest. And thankfully you know how to get there, because you've been there a couple times. Again, for the sake of brevity, you arrive, have a few words with his secretary outside, who enters the room on your behalf and comes back out. He's awake now. He'll see you.
Thank you very much.
Opens the door up for you. Stepping into the familiar space, the lovely grip it and fucking rip it, bro.
Oh no, you ripped it!
Sure did.
It's a good thing you gripped it before.
I just needed an appropriate time to do that.
Grip it and rip it.
You did it.
Things get wild during the second half.
Yeah, look out, everyone. Peek the mics.
We can't. You enter the familiar, warm space. The lovely dark wood interior, various bits and baubles and trinkets that line the walls and desks and bookshelves. All sorts of magical and non-magical oddities, things from around Mistinor collected probably over countless centuries of Valdwin's life. He has already exited his coffin, which is standing up directly behind his desk as he is seated there and stands as you all enter to greet you. Welcome back. It's a pleasure to see you all safe. I see you've brought a few extras.
Yes, and surprising turn of events. This is my youngest brother, Pippin.
Pippin Duvet. A pleasure to meet you. It's nice to meet you as well. Nice place you got here.
And this is
Very noticeably uncomfortable.
this is Genevieve, Silas's wife.
She just gives a gentle bow and says nothing. Pleasure to meet all of you. A seemingly joyous turn of events.
A bit.
Yes.
They tried to kill us, but yes, a bit.
So they had been under the control of this night hag we've spoken to you about, and they have some similar type memory issues. And I hate to be a bother, but if we would be allowed to use the circlet once more to help them, we can pay if it. I don't want this to become a hassle.
Of course. No, obviously we won't get used to it. But again, you've done such a service to the school in rooting out the treachery that was lurking just beneath the surface.
Rude. Nice.
Yes, of course. I should have gone for that. Sorry, it's been a long couple of days. Speaking of, if I recall correctly, we're about 9 or so days out.
Yes.
Yes.
We've made efforts to hire some mercenaries. Not sure if they'll arrive.
Good.
We've paid a hefty sum to ghosts, for all we know.
I see.
I would fight with ghosts.
Well, if they're
Could be useful.
marching out from Geladorn at some point in the next 2 or 3 days, they should make it in time. Potentially, assuming they've got proper outfitting to traverse the Lake Mendeleth to Rovengor.
I was wondering if you might be able to take a look at an item that we have.
Of course, excuse you.
Excuse me. Rabbit, if you don't mind, if you could take a look at this mask.
All right. I will slide it across his desk.
Of course.
They were wearing these
I
when
found some
they
runes inside too.
when they
it
attacked
does.
us. The Fae was speaking through the masks, and
The lips would move.
they seemed to be charmed in some way. We had to break after
Unsettling.
the mask was removed.
You see the silvery flash in his eyes as he casts the identify spell on the mask, looking over it. Very intriguing bit of arcane essence. This appears to be similar to what we know as sending stones, a much more complex version, however. Even having identified it, I don't fully understand its workings, which is honestly par for the course with hag magic. It is quite old and seems to follow a different set of rules than most arcane knowledge that I personally am familiar with. However, it appears that it is enchanted in such a way that it animates when the counterpart is spoken through. It doesn't appear to have a limit of uses per day. It seems to just kind of have a strong connection with its partner and messages can be relayed through it from long distances,
Is there a way
perhaps
to
even across planes.
locate the partner?
Not to my knowledge.
Right.
I did have a couple of other things. You mentioned last time, in passing, perusing our vault of items for anything that might be useful. And I quite rudely put you down in stating that, anything in there that got into the wrong hands, should we fail, could be incredibly dangerous. But I did find a couple of items that I think could be helpful and not too detrimental, if they should be lost. The first are these. I don't know who they would be suited for, so I shall just place them on the table and you can have at them. First, he places down a set of gloves that have this kind of very neutral gray tone to them, and around the wrist area of the glove are these beautiful kind of silver wavy lines of different various thicknesses, that looking closer you can see are actually runes that have been finely stitched into the gloves themselves. These are the gloves of swimming and climbing. While wearing them, you'll find it is much easier to move at a regular speed as you would on the ground, whether you are in water or climbing a surface. And you also gain a +5 bonus to athletics checks made to climb or swim.
Oh.
That's
And
fantastic.
the other is this.
Your voice kind of broke there.
I don't know what you're talking about. Next, he places down this golden medallion that depicts a small skull as the pendant, with these kind of ruby gemstones embedded in the eye sockets. And on the top, the skull is actually open a bit, and you can see the kind of repoussé brains that would be within the skull. And the chain is also studded with jewels that kind of go around in equidistant
That's
sections.
exactly my style.
I thought you might think so. This is the Medallion of Thoughts. Thrice per day, while wearing it, you can essentially have access to a spell that will let you detect the thoughts of others. It's got its own DC, and it's got 3 charges that it regains. You roll a D6 at the top of every day, and half what you get, except for a 1, obviously. And that's how many charges it gets back.
Oh.
You can disperse these amongst yourselves. I don't know who would have the most use of either of them, but I don't also know that they will be entirely helpful to you in your cause, but perhaps you'll find some use for them down the road.
What do you all think?
Seems like you kind of have a thing for the medallion. You should grab it.
Well, it's pretty.
It's so pretty.
It's got brains on it.
Grab it. Maybe the gloves.
I could probably, if I can get up high really fast, I can drop down
And
like
shenanigans.
death from above. I would like the gloves, please.
Of course. They're all yours.
Is this agreeable with?
Yeah, that was just my opinion. You guys didn't have to agree.
No, I don't mind. No, I was just thinking. Sorry.
About
Do
what?
you want to try them on?
No, I'm fine. No, really, I don't even enjoy swimming. Even so, if
What
I did
about
it
climbing?
better, that would be.
Do you like climbing?
I would recommend, if there are any of you that are maybe not particularly good at swimming or climbing, or don't maybe possess a great innate athletic ability.
Right, exactly.
Well.
The
I
lake,
put the gloves on Aurora for her.
yeah,
That's
the,
fair.
the waters around Rovengul in Lake Mendeleth can be unruly at times, unpredictable. So, if anything should happen, if any of you should go overboard of your vessel or something of that matter, this could help perhaps the less athletically inclined of you to survive.
Yes, that would be the 2 of us.
That's fair.
I can't say what it will do for those things that dwell in the lake, but At least staying afloat shouldn't be too much.
You could climb them.
Wait, what
In the
wells
water.
in the lake?
Oh, well, a number of things, but no one actually knows all of them.
The school hasn't gone.
You could research that. Yeah, your school.
Oh, yes, it is part of why we are placed so close, but it is a vast expanse and it is quite dangerous. It is not easy. We don't like to send students. However, we do have some professors that are researching various things about Rovenghoul and Lake Mindeleth, but it is slow going, as again, it is
From what I've
quite
heard
dangerous.
of magic schools in Winfell, they don't give a shit about their students. It seems most magic schools put them in danger on purpose, it seems.
Right.
It's great to hear that you don't, but that's, I just thought.
Yes, well, of
Students
course.
were expendable.
I mean, you can learn a lot from death, but we try to avoid it from those that are paying a tuition.
Oh, right, yeah. Kind of run out of money that way.
So if we pay you
Also, life
tuition,
is
you'll make
precious.
sure we don't die.
I'm sorry?
What?
I missed that.
Yeah, what if we enrolled?
Yeah, if we pay you a tuition, do you ensure that we don't die?
Oh, no. I mean, you came across a number of students' bodies. You know that we can't prevent their deaths depending on what they
What are they
do
paying
and what
for?
choices they make.
How much funding
pay us
do
for
you
an
need
education.
to make
I'm
a potion
kidding.
of immortality?
Right. It's nice to meet another group that has a bit of a darker humor to them. A lot of people don't enjoy my jokes.
It's,
Humor.
right. It's hard
I was
to not.
being genuine.
You want to see some dark humor? Watch this one fight. It's not right.
Well,
Well, very soon I
But
shall
she's
be.
on our side.
One time she called it Ruta to Tuta, and I will never forget what that was.
I wish I
Yes,
could have been
yes.
It was a nightmare.
You still have that coin handy, correct? To
there.
summon
I've
me
got
to
it
you.
in my pocket.
Perfect. Keep close hold of that.
She didn't just use it, did she? Because
I'll hold
No.
it flat.
It takes a bit more concentration than that.
Also, he said I have to squeeze it.
so the business of this circlet. You think your brother should go first? I mean, I don't want to speak for them.
yes, Pippin, if you'd like.
All right, and
It doesn't take long.
I'll just put it on and I'll remember.
You'll want to sit, and we'll give you some space. I mean, maybe Cholula can be nearby. I don't
Do you
know.
have it? I haven't done it personally. Do you have any
Maybe
words of
maybe
advice?
just for everybody's safety, give me a little bit of room.
You don't
I'm
lash
I'm
out.
just dealing with a short period of memory loss. I don't think
Exactly.
I'll be.
Oh, that's fair. I did something with a mirror once, and I had Silas hold my pinky the whole time. It was really comforting. So
Right, I'm just worried, like if I get lost in the sauce, that I might lash out and stab someone nearby.
that's fair.
Kind of an instinct thing.
Right.
That's actually
We could also
reasonable.
just hold your stabbing devices.
Oh no, that won't be necessary.
I don't think-
All right.
Does he sleep
so
with
should I
his
just sit here?
weapons? Have I noticed?
He has been, yeah.
Okay.
All of us do.
You
Like on though.
yeah, no, none of you have seen him take them off.
Yeah.
He appears to be ready to go whenever. He takes a seat, and Valdwin steps around and explains how the circlet works while placing it on his head and then taking a couple of safe steps back. And you all wait. Just a brief moment as Pippin closes his eyes and kind of twitches a little bit. Ooh, natural 20.
Oh, snap.
Not too bad.
He remembers being born.
He just takes half damage instead of.
Oh, what?
Why damage?
Halved to 7.
If maybe the hag didn't want him to remember.
The bloody nose.
Don't remember.
The bloody nose.
Yeah, very familiar to Silas as you watch. He kind of like twitches a little bit, and then a little bit of blood runs down from his nose, which he quickly wipes away. All right, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was nighttime. I'd lay down for bed, and the overseer came in, and he spoke to me and said that time for my mission had come. He brought me out into the yard of the compound, and there was this large bird, like a raven, perhaps some other type of corvid. And it transformed into this lady. She was honestly hideous. You could describe her like a fawn, maybe. She did have kind of goat-like legs, but her arms were long and spindly, and she had a cleft lip that was just a little too wide for my liking. A lot of warts on the side of her head, blue skin, horns came out from the sides. Honestly, rightly, I should have gone for my weapons and been terrified, but for some reason I was very calm. And she said it was time, and to deliver a message. And then she kind of like feels around himself, reaches not into his satchel that is full of water, but into another leather pouch that's kind of on his belt to the side, pops it open, takes out this little piece of paper. She said that this was where she saw him last. He turns the paper around to all of you, and you see it's like a set of coordinates, latitude and longitude, that probably Silas could decipher if you wanted to try with your history in the Harpers. Go ahead and sorry, I was reading a Discord message. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh boy, that's 23.
Yeah, these coordinates, based on your knowledge of Kavora, which is not incredibly vast, but you're familiar with Windfell and you've familiarized yourself with Mistinor quite a bit. Somewhere outside of Lugrief. Like just outside the city.
That sounds like us.
She said that you were in the area and that I was to track you down. She gave me your description. I didn't ask any questions. I just left. It took me a couple of days. I hadn't left the compound before that.
So this was just recently.
Yes, to my recollection, maybe a 10-day, maybe less.
Oh, for some reason, I thought you just, spent your childhood in this place and...
Oh, no, that's...
You've been there your whole life.
Yes.
Oh.
How many of them are still in the compound?
When I left, there was still 8 of us.
That's 8 more that she could use against us?
Mm-hmm.
Just a pluck?
Or they'll be there in 9 days.
Was the mask placed on you then, or did you carry it with you?
I carried it with me. It's strange. It's like she said some words, but mostly I just knew what had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the need to reiterate, I was not acting of my own volition during this time.
We know.
I was given a mission, and I carried it out to the best of my ability. I also recall, he kind of like side-eyes Rabbit a little bit. I definitely was not operating at my full capabilities. I was clouded, my judgment was clouded, my movements were slowed a bit. But you lot know how to handle yourselves.
Well, thank you.
I was on the ground for most of that one, but yeah, it was
Speaking
fine.
of
It was
that,
fun.
I think there's perhaps something we've been avoiding asking up to now regarding this whole showdown coming up. But if you two are as capable as you were when we had to fight you, or more capable, as you're saying, are you interested in joining us?
But I don't want to speak for Genevieve, but I don't think that would be. I don't agree with it, and Genevieve can have the word with it, but I don't agree with sending her in.
Yes, I don't want to put the both of you into any more trouble than you've already had to go through, but I also understand the feeling of needing to help to give someone their comeuppance. It's entirely your decision.
Can I
We
have?
feel that
So this is for Pippin. Can I have one of the two of you, Rabbit or Cholula, either one of you make a persuasion check with advantage, or each of you roll?
What if they roll lead for it?
my persuasion is
You can do that too, if you want.
No, we're just talking about
If you're feeling good.
like the Beethoven
Mine
thing,
is,
you know, the dog thing. Like, come here, boy.
It's not bad.
Like they could both,
But it's
they
also
could both roll a persuasion. And see.
I mean, it sounded like Cholula was also on board with Pippin coming along, right? Did I misread that?
No, I'm on board. That's a 21. I was just telling him basically like,
No
I get
press.
it if
Yeah.
you want to come, but like I'm not telling you
You have.
come with us.
I've been put through hell for most of my life. If this being is somehow responsible for that, for taking me away from my family, I feel it would be my duty to step in and help put her to her end. Genevieve is pensive for a moment. I haven't been trained as an assassin my entire life. Or probably have half the capabilities that most of you do, but I know how to handle myself. And if it's a choice between potentially losing you again, or at least having a hand in stopping it, I'd prefer to be there.
You don't have to have my permission.
That's right.
I
You all get a sense of why Silas hates elves.
I don't. This isn't to sway anything. I just want to get it off my chest.
Your feelings are valid, and I understand where you're coming from.
Do you though? Because I've been without you as well, and I've been without Alma for a time now. It's gonna sound cliche, but I don't want to lose someone while I'm there again. It's not happening now. I'm not. I don't think I will.
And I need you to understand. I want the same thing. I don't want to lose anyone. It's only been a couple of days, but
The best way for us to keep from losing anyone else is to take this thing out, and it might be best for everyone if we are all in it together, because whether or not she's there with us, she can still be targeted and found.
The four of us are still the front line. We just need backup.
Right. I'm not saying don't. I just wanted to speak my mind.
I understand.
Of course. Well, we have 9 days. Valdwin, have you you mentioned that the last couple of days here have been hectic. Has
Yes.
it been-
Circlet turns over at midnight, right? We've done that before.
At dawn.
Yes.
at dawn, yes. Yes, we've been really looking into taking a closer look at all of our faculty, their teachings, specific lesson plans, and there have been reopened investigations. It's taken quite a push, actually, to get the investigations reopened, which I find suspicious and strange, but nevertheless, they are reopened. And cases are being re-examined, but as is such, faculty members and former students who were close with, or even tangentially close with Melisande, are being rounded up and interviewed and giving statements from the time to make sure that we've got every piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. And it's been a bit of a headache, but on top of all of that, classes must go on and students must be educated. So we've been quite busy, but I do have a 3-day period marked off, 9 days, well, 8 days from now, technically. The day before, the day of, and the day after.
Yes, because you'll want to rest.
Well, yes. And also in case, things perhaps jump off ahead of schedule or behind schedule, I should say, because I'm English.
Righto.
Pip, pip, cheerio. Jumps out the window.
No, it's daytime.
Do you have,
That's what happens?
It's the pocket dimension. It doesn't matter if I'm in here.
this is sort of a two-part question. Do you have someone lined up to take your place in case the worst happens? And also, have you had any luck in finding a new Dean of the Root? I know it hasn't been long, but...
I am looking into my own possible replacement. I've had a number of people in mind over the last couple of centuries, just in case. You never know. The Dean of the Root position was a bit more of a surprise. But we do have a couple of candidates that we are looking at. One of whom is Professor Pippin and Genevieve, who I'm giving my recommendation for. Mm. But there are a couple of others that are promising as well. In the end, it will come down to a committee here that will make the final decision.
Wouldn't it just be adorable if we had... I always want to call him Alucard. And that's not his name.
Isabel?
Isabel. Because they're opposites and similar at the same time.
I don't know that I've met Isabel.
Oh my god, that sounds so adorable.
Mm-hmm. We told you about him.
You've mentioned him.
I would be thrilled if Isabel was interested in becoming the Dean of the Root. Unfortunately, that is a wild soul that I do not think can be tamed.
Yeah.
He finds himself right at home, living in the wilds of Mistinor.
Like, emotionally, you don't think he can be tamed, or like...
I don't think
in
his
a frisky way, you don't think he
I
can
don't
be
think.
tamed.
I was
don't
thinking
think
more
that
of like a
his,
star-crossed lovers kind of thing.
I don't think that his free spirit could be tethered to a title as such.
What
I
if
think
you
he-
make the Dean of the Root is like a traveling version of your college?
Yeah, but what,
It would be
maybe
incredibly hard to teach classes.
maybe not tethered, but what about bound with a safe word or something?
Or like literal
There would have to be
chains.
consent involved, and that's what I worry about.
I think there might be a little bit.
And I don't know if you... We did find those students in the woods, so I guess they are sent out for different things, research, whatnot, perhaps.
They also have breaks during semesters. Not all of our students are living in Kalima. Others come from different parts of Mistinor, and during their breaks they return home or go on trips with one another.
Did we tell you about Z?
See, Yes, the Warforged
Yes.
in the Trollvane ruins.
Yes.
Yes, I haven't had a chance to send out a party to investigate or collect, but the Trollvane ruins I do find quite interesting. There's a lot to be learned from the history of that place, I think.
Yes. And what else? Roscoe. Say.
Yes, Master Samson. We have actually had some promising turns of events. We think that we've completely isolated the strange arcana. It was affecting different parts of his nervous and, oddly enough, his respiratory systems as well. But we feel that we've isolated them. He still has a bit of deformation, not defamation. He is a bit deformed still on one side of his body, and is currently in a medically induced coma. He's being kept unconscious for his own safety. But that being said, the majority of the infection has retreated from his face and essentially his entire cranial area and the upper body, and is being suppressed to the left arm and left leg. He's still under observation, and there are still experiments being done to get him the best healing as possible. We are hoping to avoid having to amputate said limbs so that he might still have his full faculties. But if it does come to that, we have some very, very talented tinkerers that are studying here that are already hard at work on outfitting some mechanical limbs that we could potentially fix.
I was thinking about like doing surgery.
And calling surgeons
Like
tinkerers.
doing, yeah.
Yeah,
We have
for a
some
second I was
excellent
also like, he's a man. He's like a guy.
No. Sorry, that's my fault. No, we have.
Some
We also have some very practiced surgeons that would remove the infected areas, and some separate, equally talented tinkerers who create machines that function off of a
What
sort
you're
of.
saying is everybody involved is very talented.
Yes, we are
Wonderful.
the top.
Dabblers, no masters here.
We are the. I need to travel back to Windfell at some point. It's been ages since I've had a drink in Waterdeep.
I wonder if tyranny's down since we've left. It's a thing I used to say.
Odd.
Does he say?
But what I'm getting at is his recovery appears to be just around the corner, and even if we do have to amputate his limbs, hopefully we will have suitable and strong replacements for said limbs so that he can still go about his business and his adventuring life. And Master Flintwick has not left his side.
That was my next question. Wonderful. Okay.
What of shipwrights? Do you have anything of that nature here? Would we have to have that pulled in 9 days now?
There may be the odd shipwright along the coast of Lake Mendeleth. There are a number of villages that exist around the perimeter. I would think that your best bet would probably be to circle round and head near Old Tannin. The best shipwrights in all of Mistinor are there in the city of Waterfalls.
Right, we should. That was our next stop anyway. So, right, we were still doing.
I'm sorry that I can't send you there myself. I'm not. I mean, I could, but it would be dangerous. I'm not familiar with the location,
Oh, yes.
and you could end up
But
any
if I
number
use
of
the
places.
Or inside of a
coin.
building.
But the coin is a direct line to me, so that I can appear beside you within an instant.
Does she have to put the coin down?
I squeeze it,
Yes.
and I
We
squeeze
talked
it
about this, right?
Yes,
I thought it
and I will
was.
appear in a free space within
Right.
5.
I thought you appeared on the coin. It was
No, just in the vicinity.
in my age.
I squeeze it.
Yes, having a pinpointed zone, something to focus on. No, not a problem. But
Just leave coins all over the city. Just.
well, the issue is that I can't activate them. Others do. So
Yeah.
please hold on to that, because if someone else got their hands on it, that could be very dangerous for me. So please understand the amount of trust that I've placed with the Mistwalkers. in giving you that artifact.
And the trust that you placed in me, specifically, Rabbit of the Mistwalkers. I will not let you down.
Wonderful. Make a deception check.
Hold on. This is the amount of time I want you two to be looking at each other. Yeah, you can trust me.
Deception or
What time is it?
either. What time is it?
Of day.
Of day?
It's like
I would like to use a luck point.
Yeah, you've been traveling since you used your last one.
Ugh, that's not much better. 11.
11? Okay. And I would say this would be deception or persuasion, depending on how Rabbit feels about what she's saying.
I mean,
What they're saying.
persuasion.
Persuasion? Okay.
It's still 11.
Still 11? Yes. Please don't lose that coin. So that I can be there to help you and we can handle this.
Yeah, he doesn't trust me. Is this not the most trustworthy face you've ever seen?
not the most, but
Punchable.
Kitten! Meet me outside.
Please
Just me?
don't fight in the hallways of the school. I'm afraid that I've exhausted all it is that I have to offer at the moment. I hope that these items can be of help to you, and if you would like to stick around until tomorrow to use the circlet once more.
I think, yeah, that would be
that would
wise.
be wonderful.
Because this one has been imprisoned for much longer. And I think we could get some information from that.
Of course. So, is there anything that you guys would like to do on campus for the next, 12 hours?
Sorry, before we leave, there's Pippin has a bag of water that you should probably take a look at.
There were
Pippin's.
Yes, Pippin.
There's something.
there were
Just to see what it's about.
there were coins in the bottom of a pond, but they would not come out of the water. So he collected some in a bag with water. We're just curious about what the deal is.
I've got them here. If you take a look inside the bag,
Just look.
Pippin, what
see
if
there's about 4 coins floating down there, right? Not floating, but yes. So,
If they're in water and they're not swimming, they're floating.
can't believe I'm about to do this, but watch. He reaches in and
Just-
takes one of the coins and pulls it up, and as he pulls it out of the water, it vanishes.
I would like to hand Pippin a gold coin.
as a replacement?
Wait,
Thank you very
if that
much.
goes into the water, will that not come back out? I'll
Puts it in the bag.
What, do you know which one? What are you doing? You've lost the control of this accent.
Delightful.
Valdwin's gonna take a look. Does he want to? Yeah, he's gonna waste another spell slot. He's going to cast Identify once more.
It's gonna be some dumb D&D name. The water of no coin return or something.
There's no type of name for it like that I'm aware of, at least. But it does appear to be some sort of illusion. You're lucky not to have been ambushed or attacked at this watering hole, as it seems like either by some means of wild magic or perhaps an intentional illusion spell was cast upon it to make the coins feel tangible, to distract passers-by so that they might be perhaps robbed or who knows what.
Honeypot is what we called it. We had a guy who could fake things.
Yes, exactly like that. I'd call it the water of honeypotting. No,
It is a
I
stupid-
thought I'd workshop it. It didn't sound as good out loud as it did in my head. I'm afraid those coins are illusory.
Well, one of them's good.
Yes.
Ties up the bag.
What if it's?
I mean,
Then we're gonna come up with a use for that bag.
I could still maybe fool some kind of merchant. You said all tanning's like a city of waterfalls. Maybe they got some of them aquarium. You know.
Right.
Stars. Aquarium stars. You could put it in an aquarium.
You could.
At
Could I
the
buy an aquarium for 2 gold?
Oh, you have 4 gold.
So you plan
And
on
now we've got the
No,
one.
you plan on buying an aquarium with this gold. Are you putting it in the aquarium you've purchased?
No.
No, it's going to go in an aquarium at the star.
because the register is
So
an
that
aquarium.
Yeah, I'd put
At
it in
an
another
aquarium
one.
star it would be, I think.
Would it though?
You
And the bathrooms are aquariums.
But I can
buy
prove to them.
glass
I can
bowl.
prove to them that the money is real because now there's one real coin in there. So if I can figure out which one it is, I tell them. I assure you. I assure you it's real, and I pull out the real gold coin
No, wait,
so
I
that they
think-
know.
I'm not a very good liar, but I think if you say the words, I assure you that I'm not lying, people immediately assume.
You know, I can tell
you
you're
probably
related.
It's foolproof.
I think I get it. You
Yeah.
guys have spent some time apart, but I think I can see the duvet in both of
Well,
you.
I can see the duvet in you. You could buy a glass bowl and fill it with the coin water and put a fish inside. But I don't think you could buy a whole.
And then
But
you'll have
we
people
need-
dipping their
but we
hands in to go for
needed
gold
to-
and.
But
It's
here's the
very
thing.
treasure
Maybe I
for
could
the
put
fish.
maybe I could make it a whole trap, and I could put a piranha inside. So when they
Yeah.
reach in to grab the gold, they get their fingers bent.
But the problem that we need those to buy
That could
the
be handy,
aquarium.
right?
We can't buy the aquarium without
Hey,
those.
there's a bowl here. It's like there's
You
a piranha.
shove it, and they give
it's
you the
worth it.
glass bowl, and you empty it into the bowl.
And then we just leave. That's stealing now. Now we're stealing. We were gonna
You think a
purchase.
glass bowl would cost more than 1 gold?
The only thing I can think of is you can maybe make a street show out of it.
With inflation.
And say, hey, look, this money doesn't come out of the water. And then
What is happening to Mr. North?
This sounds like a conversation
afford it.
best had, perhaps in a local pub.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I've got to start gearing up for my classes for the night. But it was lovely to see you
what are
all.
your classes for the evening?
Can we sit in on your classes?
If you'd like.
What are they about?
We have 9 days. I think we might have some pressing issues.
We were talking
we
about
have
going to a
until-
pub. What were we?
We haven't.
I wasn't going to.
Oh,
go
I
to
just
a pub.
suggested
We
it.
have
If you've got better things
dawn
to do.
before we can use the circlet again.
Right, yes.
We've got to do something.
It might behoove. Yes, you've got to hang out at least. I mean, you don't have to,
He
but
heard him. We've got to hang out.
See, I don't want.
Right here. We'll wait here. Thank you.
you're welcome. Again,
We'll go to a pub and we'll see you in the morning.
right. Again, implicitly, I trust all of you. You've stayed in my office before and nothing went missing. So why would something
Yes.
go missing now? But if it did, I would know exactly who took it. So
Right.
What's the
or
point?
unless it was at the bottom of a bag full of water.
So if it's
and that
all
would tell me
right-
even more.
if it's all right with you, when we're ready to sleep, you'll still be teaching. Can we just have your secretary let us in to take our rest, and then when you come in the morning, we'll do the
course.
circlet and be out of your way?
Of course, yes.
Wonderful.
I'll have them set up some cots for you so that you're not just on the floor and
Oh, perfect.
desks and things.
Thank you once again very much for
Thank
your
you
help.
so
Sorry to
much.
have interrupted your rest.
It's
We'll
not a problem at all.
see you in the morning.
I'm feeling actually quite rested. I think I'll start my preparation.
Yeah, have some coffee.
So, where are the rest of you headed?
We're gonna find a pub, I guess.
So this is what I'm talking about, Genevieve. I come across as the crotchety old man, but like the fate of at least this island or continent is in our hands in 9 days, and everyone's sad.
I
Is
know,
there a
it's-
reason that you're
it's-
trying to purposely sway your wife against the rest of us right now?
I'm not swaying. I'm telling her how I feel because if I tell you guys how I feel, I get ganged up.
It's important to discuss your feelings and make sure that they are heard, and even if they're not reciprocated, it's important that everyone's on a level playing field.
Yes,
That being
so
said,
you
it
should
does.
tell us your feelings.
That being said, from what I've been told, it sounds like there is a very dangerous, far-reaching, continent-spanning cult that is endangering many innocent lives.
Yes, but we have to remember that there's no point in preserving life if you're not going to enjoy it.
Of course.
Also,
And
I
I
think
think that's
that-
equally valid.
You
Put
know,
that on the
maybe
shirt.
just a little bit. Silas is just scared that you'll like us more.
There is that. You know, if I can express my feelings one more time, thank you, Genevieve. But I am afraid of that.
We're lots of fun.
You are all quite a gas, and I look forward to our night in the pub
Oh,
before whatever is coming in the morning. Frankly, I could use a distraction.
Wonderful. We're good at that.
We're very good at that.
You're fine, right?
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah, I've been.
heard.
Yes.
So I guess we'll head back to the blue district.
Yeah, or there's.
Is that the one that
Magenta?
has stuff?
Well, there's the boiler room. with-
Oh
Come on.
That is within the pocket dimension.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's
with
do that.
The door person.
It's closer.
Mm.
Go there.
All right.
Genevieve, maybe you should lead. I think you could probably smooth talk this one. They
gonna
want
try to sneak past the
identification.
door.
No one has identification except it's dumb. I think you would be very kind
I
to them.
have identification.
What?
What?
And Waterdeep, you.
Is that legal here?
I thought that was I thought that was if
Listen,
you did magic.
Pippin, I think that we should all three try to sneak past.
Well, I was paying to
We should have a
live
sneaking
somewhere.
contest.
You
so
got a
they,
deal.
Sneaking contest.
Absolutely.
Winner gets the sack.
I'm gonna take that
Can you
as
be more specific?
The one full of fake money.
she wants your coin purse.
Like, especially with his ginger complexion, like very visibly blushes, but plays it cool. Like his body is betraying him.
Yes.
You're wrong.
Are we sneaking past this person?
I
I mean,
think-
all I have to do is just hold your hands and do
Well,
send my
two of you
shadow
have
for.
been-
Wait, so if we all get past, how do we know who won? Is it a race?
Whoever doesn't definitely loses.
Right, but if there's two winners, what do we split the sack of water?
You could.
It's gonna
split the
spill
sack.
everywhere.
If we cut it, no, that's
No,
not gonna
you just
work.
get another
Maybe.
sack and pour the water in.
No,
Why am
okay,
I the only
okay,
sane
wait.
person here?
It'll be a speed run.
maybe the loser
Whoever
has
gets
to
in
chug it.
fastest
So it's a race.
wins.
It's a race. Oh, can someone be there first to see who wins? No, someone has to be there at the finish line.
Does he know where he's going?
Do you, as the oldest,
He's got a name.
All right, Genevieve
got
and I
the
will
boiler
walk in
room.
as a couple on the night that he's
And you
seen
will
my
be the
face.
referee.
I will be the referee. Fine. Aurora, Cholula,
Oh,
are we letting them have their game or?
Yes.
Fine, yes.
I'll just watch.
You don't want to be in on the game?
oh, I can try. I'm just not real good at sneaking.
Oh, not sneaky, are ya? Like substantially not sneaky?
It's not
Because
like
you could go in with Silas and
it's not
Genevieve.
like substantially. Not
Worth noting,
sneaky.
Pippin is gone.
Oh shit! I take off.
He like as you said, at the moment that it was decided it was a race, he pulled his hood up and vanished.
Cholula, I like this one.
I'm gonna. Is there like an upper window floor situation?
It's a basement.
It's a basement.
Yeah, it's the boiler room.
You know, of old.
So is there one of those basement windows? You know what I mean?
No, it's
No, like
No, so there's like there's doors on the street, and then there's a staircase that leads down about 20 feet.
It's Abbey Underground.
Yeah.
it used
I
to-
don't know what that place actually looks like.
Oh really?
Oh, really?
I don't.
wow.
I
yeah.
don't look at it.
Oh, we had a good deal of fun when he was describing it. I thought you were in on the joke.
No, I wasn't in on the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've never.
I feel like that was a pretty accurate description.
Yeah, it was great with the
I
big
like
pedals
it.
down the middle. Yeah.
So yeah,
No, if you ever think I'm in on a joke, I'm not.
It's not a
so
joke, it's
you
real
enter
play.
through some double doors.
Okay.
It's
It
the
used to
the only entrance, and then
It's an art
you head 20 feet down down a staircase, where there's the door person waiting for you, and a small doorway surrounded by this kind of like half wall with wrought iron, like sculpture almost blocking the rest of it. Passing through there, you enter the rest of the bar, which is like leads you past the pool area to your left, pool and darts, and then various booths on your right, and then it opens up into this kind of big rectangular space where there's a stage directly across from you and a bar top to your right, and then tables and chairs scattered around.
Okay. Are the ceilings kind of like these ceilings with slats, like old school Tudor homes?
Closer to the stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I use those to like sneak along the ceiling and then just drop into the bar?
So the issue
I don't understand what you're saying. I can't see inside of my head.
the issue is that there's only one entrance and it's a door.
And then inside that door is immediately a staircase.
That goes down.
Yes.
But there's still a
But the
ceiling.
ceiling is high.
Yeah.
So the ceiling is maybe like 30 feet high and stays that length, but it does like slope down and follow you. But it's smooth until you reach.
Smooth until the back.
Correct. So anyway, are you rushing to the bar?
I'm rushing to the bar.
All right. Who all is racing?
And then I'll army.
Well, I
crawl
need to
down.
be there. I'm not racing, but I need to be there to see this finish line. So I'm kind of just going to the door to see if this guy's
Yeah.
gonna let me
I'll
in.
go with the
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if it matters against Pippin, but my movement speed is 55, and I will step of the wind if I have to.
Okay. The choice is yours.
And yours are.
I will say Pippin disappeared, so you don't really know how
Yeah,
fast
I
he
have
is
No idea.
or even where he is. But you do have the advantage that you've been to the boiler room before, and he has never left his compound before a couple of weeks ago, apparently.
We did say the boiler room out loud, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Oh yeah, he's got a direction, and he's fully utilizing the skills that he has been garnering his entire
on
life.
the walk there, can I kind of like look around with my devil's sight and see
Yeah, you
if
can
I
make a perception
spot
check.
him?
If I step of the wind, do I lose, like,
Key points.
stealth?
I don't know why I was like 18.
I don't think so.
It doesn't say anything about that,
Are you-
but would it?
And again, you don't really have to be stealthy on the way there.
Yeah,
He just was because he was trying to lose you guys.
18.
I really
18.
hope that it's like it was
Yeah, I'll
last
step
time
of the wind
where
there.
I get there and he's just like asleep at the door.
Yeah.
Which puts my movement speed at 110 feet.
Okay. So we're gonna have to do some rollies here,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
because Homeboy can use his cunning action to dash
Yeah.
every 6 seconds. So you are faster than him, but he did get a head start on you
Yeah.
because you guys were still lost in conversation for a minute. You can go back, watch the tapes, check the VOD when it's up on YouTube, or if you're a subscriber here on Twitch. The moment that my hood went up
Yeah.
is the moment that Pippin dipped. He had that amount of time to start going.
Action to dash and cunning to dash. Jesus.
Yeah, so he's got 90 feet of movement in a round,
Dios mío.
which is only a
Is he
little bit
Swift
slower.
Ride
Yeah.
Also,
Oh yeah, he also would bonus action shift.
that gives him 40 feet of.
Yeah, so
damn.
that makes it
80 feet.
40, 80 times 3 because he can action to dash and bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So he can go 120 feet around.
I can go 110.
So he's faster and he got a head start.
That little son of a
But
He
we'll still do.
But he
a
doesn't
rolling
know where
about
he's
it.
going.
So we are both going to make acrobatics checks.
So is this guy gonna just appear on somebody real quick and be like, "Do you know where the boiler room is?"
We're gonna have to make some of his bonus actions
I already-
perception.
I already made a survival check for him to
Okay,
attempt to
yeah.
locate the business.
We just want to make sure this is crunchy enough for everybody.
Because of his head start and his movement speed, I'm giving him advantage on this roll. I will, however, tell you what he rolls before you go, if you wish.
Glad he tries some of those lentil.
Is it just
Circles.
the two of you?
So
And
good.
acrobatics?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're racing.
Should have brought.
So
Yeah. Oh.
my first roll was a natural 2, but with advantage, he rolled. Oh my God, what is that? Hang on.
Stat sheet is not close.
He rolled a 31.
Rogues. Fucking rogues.
I cannot, under any circumstances,
I got a 6.
match that.
Okay, so I will let you guys know just for a mechanical standpoint, just so that you don't think I'm just being an asshole. I rolled a natural 2 and a natural 18 with advantage, and because he is a rogue with expertise in acrobatics, he gets a plus 13 to that roll.
What was his survival like? If you're
His survival, he just rolled a straight 16, which was enough to locate it quickly.
Yeah, he beat
Can
me.
I? Silas also took off pretty quick, right?
kind of like speed walking with Genevieve.
Yeah, and worth noting, what was your perception check again?
18.
18.
12 plus 6.
For stealth, he only rolled a natural 7, which came out to a dirty 20. So you did not clock him.
All right. I'm gonna hedge my bets now. I'm going to. You're not in the bar yet.
No, I'm just speed walking.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
we'll say
rush
just
at you.
for this part, again for brevity, we'll say that you're rushing up to Silas,
I'm gonna need your help with this. And then I cling to his back like a spider monkey and throw his cape over me.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Just be cool. Just go in.
Oh, I see. To sneak in. I thought you were like, all right, teleport me through shadows. No, you're just trying to sneak in under a
That would
cape.
be great if I just like sunk into the shadows and you're just sitting on the ground.
Holding a cape.
Was this just one round of this, or is
So,
it just like one straight?
Instead of
So-
instead of like doing a whole chase scene, I just brought it down to that acrobatics versus acrobatics roll to see who would get there faster.
Where is Aurora?
And the DC was at 31.
No. How far were we from the start to?
Maybe 6 blocks.
Yeah, no.
What is a block?
Man,
You know,
I don't know what's an average. Hang on, let me fucking Google what
That's the thing is like it's
Distance.
like
How
city
many
dependent,
feet
right? Like because some cities are tightly built.
is an
Yeah.
Sometimes
average.
people say words to
city
describe
block.
things and I've never
Yeah.
understood what they meant.
Yeah.
I just nod.
Well, this is
A standard city block is about 315 feet long. So 6
Wow.
blocks.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's far, but not like impossibly far.
that's
You're all moving, or rather, the two of you are moving a third of that.
probably
distance
the
in
square
6
to
seconds.
fry.
yeah.
Oh,
like
really?
if we raced from harvest to lose or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes you like 24 seconds to get from one block to the next, so it's not like ridiculous.
Which I'm not doing that at everyone. We're not racing.
No, she like clings onto me, and I'm just kind of like walking still, like just kind of.
Do you cling on and stay?
Yeah.
She kicks.
Okay.
No, I do not. I'm very polite to get what I want.
Yeah, it's a little
Please run.
awkward.
Genevieve, I believe I have an itch on my back. Can you just kind of punch
it.
everything on my back?
I don't think that's appropriate.
It really itches.
I mean, a lot of this really isn't appropriate,
No, but
but I shouldn't probably hit her, right?
welcome to the Mistwalkers. Just keep.
She takes your hand.
Do I have anything cool? I'll give you the coin. You can be in charge of the coin.
The coin.
The coin?
For the
To summon
For the
summon
guy.
Baldwin?
Do you want some responsibility?
I'm already responsible for the coin because you're on me right now.
But like forever, you can have the coin if you just be cool.
I am cool right now because you're clinging to me and I'm continuing to walk and not beat you to a pulp.
Stop talking to me. I'm just your back hump.
I'm talking to me. My shadow's just like bawling. My shadow loves every moment of this shit. Like,
It's like swinging around the extra bit of shadow as if he's got like a pregnancy belly.
just cackling, just like over like. Right, so I'm supposed to move quickly.
You can have the sovereign glue. You can have the glue.
You were offering me things I don't give a shit about. You know that, right?
You don't like glue? It's forever.
You want me to have. You're offering me the glue and not the solvent.
You can have both. I just didn't want to waste words.
God. How about I
Oh,
hurry?
from like under the cape, my hand just comes up with the glue.
How about I just hurry and I determine what you owe me, right?
The glue comes back.
Okay. Genevieve, you'll have to excuse me. And then I just teleport to the, like, every shadow I can, like, kind of
Can you
leaping.
take a creature with you when you teleport?
No, I don't know that.
So Silence sinks down into shadow, and Rabbit, you find yourself like on the ground.
I'll be like 60 feet ahead, like, oh, sorry. I'll, like, come back. Oh, all right, we'll just have to reset. I thought, maybe.
You haven't tried that before.
No.
That wasn't just you being you.
No, yeah, I put a bug in my pocket and I tried
Okay,
to
great. I
teleport.
jump up. Capo.
All right, and you casually all make your way.
Yeah, I'll move a lot, but I won't be running. I'll
Yeah.
be like,
I try to
Eventually,
look as much like just a back hump as possible.
for sure. Okay. Phrasing. You eventually make your way to the boiler room. Entering the doors, you find your way down the steps. It's still like late afternoon. There's not a door guy yet. You all enter the bar to see Pippin Duvet very proud of himself.
There's not a door guy though.
There's not a door guy now.
I'm gonna stop at the door. Oh, hello, good sir. No, not one for words. I don't seem to have my ID on me. I don't know. It's just a normal guy here, and I'll just like pull Rabbit out from underneath my cape.
I just hit the ground.
Yeah, and quickly take in your surroundings and realize that there's nobody here guarding the door.
We've had fun, haven't we?
Sometimes you're really cool. Sometimes you're just the worst.
And I missed out on some glue, didn't I, Cholula?
Damn.
Could have had some glue.
Aurora,
It's like magic glue.
I was wondering if maybe I could see that mirror.
Y'all got some magic glue?
It's magic.
Also, I'm keeping this sack of water for myself. I hope you all know that.
Silas,
Yes.
would you mind if I borrow the mirror?
Yes, you're sure?
Yes.
Do you want someone to hold your pinky while you do it?
Oh
That's
no,
not
I think
required.
that'll be quite fine.
Right.
But thank you.
To a night of revelry. Would you like a shot first?
Sure.
I'd suggest
Yeah.
drinking first.
Oh, I've already taken care of our first round. And Pippin sets out a shot of whiskey for
With
everybody.
real dry money? You shouldn't have.
I do have some silver pieces to my name, I'll have you know. And I even left a tip.
Oh.
And they were able to take it out of the bag, just like, thank you, I'm being facetious.
I know. I don't know what that means, but I get it.
Well, yeah.
I think it means being kind of a dickhead.
I am being that. You
That's
won.
how I'm going to use it from now
By
on.
the way, you should rub it in Rabbit's face. She loves that. They love that. My apologies. You just say that you won every day.
Oh, I mean,
You can start now.
it kind of goes without saying, but I was sitting here for a good 3 or 4 minutes before anybody else showed up. But I was kind enough to
like,
buy you all
small?
around. So. Is he small?
Like how big is Pippin?
Is Pippin count as a
Is
projectile?
Pippin like jacked or is Pippin like kind of a...
I deflect missiles.
Pippin is like he's like a little bit taller than Cholula, but very lanky build. Definitely like built for speed and not muscle.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna put my arm around his shoulder and just like get real close. Pippin, I can throw you. Just be careful. You look very throwable.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
What's wrong with all of you? All of you.
You offered me glue to carry into a bar that
Magic
didn't.
glue to make me win.
It's
Magic glue to make me win.
What is
just
this
glue,
magic glue again?
It's glue.
It's not glue that makes you smart or anything. It's glue that holds better than other glues.
Forever.
Or sort of forever.
Sort of.
Until you pour another thing on it, and then it goes away.
Yeah, but you have the only other thing.
Right, if somebody else doesn't have the other thing, then it's forever.
Then it's forever.
You could stick so many things to so many
Wait,
other things.
are they only made in pairs?
But
Or is it if you have another solvent from another one?
But it takes like 10 minutes or something to hold, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you cannot speed that up by any magical means.
So we can't like glue the hag's ass to a building or something.
I mean, if we were very clever and we came up with a good plan.
Not by magical means.
We are very clever. Are we taking these shots, or are we going to
Yes.
talk over them?
You said, oh, cheers.
Cheers, thank you, Pippin.
To the Mistwalkers.
The Mistwalk.
May we forever,
You said this, I mean, based on my brief interaction, she seems like quite a talker, right? Maybe
Yes.
if we get her monologuing about something, or, you know, she's the type to want to divulge her master plan before she kills somebody or something. Maybe we put a little bit on the ground where she's standing before her, where we think she's
Yeah,
going to stand.
We just walk up to her while she's monologuing and say, hold still, and put some glue around her.
Well, we'd put it down before she's there.
Here's the thing, though. I kind of assumed she'd be a monologuer, but then she tried to kill us very suddenly in the night. with no monologue whatsoever
Right.
until Silas was almost dead. So
I mean, she was kind of talking during it. It's really loud from the other side of the mask, and it like the lips
Yeah.
move my lips. I didn't like it.
if she's talking though while she's stabbing us or throwing spells and stuff, we do have a slight bit more of a problem getting her to stand on the glue.
Right.
Is all I'm saying.
If there's anybody maybe strong amongst the group, we could maybe like place it on a wall beforehand, and in the battle during a scuffle, maybe just slam her up against it and hold her there until it cures.
I mean,
10
between me
minutes.
and Silas, we might be able to hold it for a moment.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes is a long time.
so
10
many
minutes.
rounds of combat.
It takes 1 minute.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
that's far less rounds.
That's
of
only
combat.
that's only 10 rounds of combat. That's probably where the confusion.
That's
comes
only
from.
10 rounds of combat, he says. In all of our fights, we haven't beat 10 rounds of combat.
No. This
Not together, but in each fight. I think our biggest concern will be the tuning fork that she carries with her.
Yes.
The one that she uses to hit a horn and she disappears from this
If
plane
we
of
could
existence.
just get it out
Of her hand.
of a hand.
She knows that this fight is coming, right? She's
Yes.
expecting a scuffle.
And
think-
likely we'll have some kind of a twist to it.
I think personally that in that case the biggest thing to worry about is the unknown factor. What is she bringing to this fight? Who is she bringing to this fight?
Right.
Probably all of the people that you trained with.
Likely the caller, if she's been able to get him unbanished.
Maybe
What
all
do we
of
know
them.
about this guy?
He's large and dangerous.
Has a whip, right? He had a
He-
whip.
Fire doesn't seem to hurt him at all.
No. At the time I wasn't, as
I don't think.
shadowy as I am now.
Did electricity not do anything either?
Let me actually look
No.
this up. You guys would know this.
I
for
wasn't
sure.
there. That was a holy
Yeah, that was just the two of you actually, Cholula and Silas. But give me a moment, and I will look it up because you would know that. Didn't you have
I
something
remember
about
that
Brussels
we were
sprouts?
like, "We got a dragon with us," but like his shit wasn't doing anything.
Wasn't doing anything.
Well, it was.
Yeah. Was doing a lot to one.
a lot of fire damage.
A lot
Yeah.
of fight.
He's immune to fire and poison.
Right. So if he's there, your poisoned weapons won't. The poison won't do anything.
I don't
That
poison. I don't think
my
that's right.
current outfit is mostly poison, so that's good to know.
But you don't necessarily have to be focused on that one, should he appear.
Right, if there are other foes on the battlefield. But what do we know what to expect as far as the layout of?
Nothing. No one has mapped this island from what we've gathered. No one has trekked that far into the water from what we've gathered, including an entire institute.
See,
We've
Can we get there a few days early, even with stopping through Altanan?
It's we could, but the issue again is the magics surrounding it are wild. We would have to adjust to that as well.
But that would give us some time to do that.
Of
Yes,
course.
if we can get there before.
That was the plan.
Perhaps
Was
do
to show
some-
up a day early and see what we can cast.
I'd say as early as possible, do some reconnaissance, see if we can set where this is all going to go down.
And also in Altanan, that is
Giant silver stake.
a town of Silver Stake, if I remember correctly. So I'd say you could try to find a place to pick up other weapons there, but
Worth noting, Altanan itself is not entirely Silver Stake. Altanan is a major city.
They just have a
It's
heavy presence.
it's just the nearest.
hub.
Yeah, it's the nearest like landmark to base where Aurora is from on.
Okay.
But it's not the city itself is not entirely Silver Stake. That would
Okay.
be absurd.
Cool.
That would be like hundreds of thousands of Silver Stake members.
Okay, that's like what was in my head.
No.
So I'm like, we have to really be sneaky. when
No,
we're
Altanan
there.
is like a crazy like trade hub that is like half on the surface, and the city actually leads into the ocean, and it's the city of waterfalls because there are large walls, but the water kind of like falls over into the bottom portion of the city. Like most predominant area for tritons and water genasi, but it's a melting pot, and there's all sorts of like craftsmen and shipwrights and any number of things to be found there. It's a whole big ass place.
What was that thing that you used on Pippin in our fight? You threw.
Yeah,
something
those bindings.
That was the iron bands of Balak.
It'd be
What if-
hard to use a tuning fork if you had your hands bound quite like he did.
What if we coated those bands with the glue, and then trapped her in it, and then she'd be stuck there forever?
Could be a thing.
I don't know how it works, but
Well,
Well, if it tried to unravel, it would probably tear it to shreds, right? Like,
I mean,
if the glue had set.
if she's strong enough, she could break out of them and destroy them.
right.
But she can't break out from the glue. So if
That's
we're-
true,
if we
but
double
she'd
up.
still have to be bound for 1 minute.
Ooh, but that could be an issue if she's strong enough. If she's weak enough that she gets trapped in there and it gets glued to her body forever, but she's strong enough that she can break out of it, then we may have just armored her for the rest of the fight
with glue.
with iron bands.
I think it returns to being a small ball.
Yeah.
that
So
was broken.
well, worth noting, the iron bands expand and like fully encase the body in like an iron cage, and it takes a hefty strength check to bust out of them. And when you do, it just breaks them, and they're unusable.
Oh, okay.
You have to speak the command word to,
Return them.
yeah, to.
Have
Also,
them
we set the
release and
glue,
turn
then
back
say the
on.
command word and tear her into pieces.
Exactly. That'd be fucking rad.
That'd be horrifying, yeah.
Yeah.
That's some, like, Hellraiser shit.
Yeah, and now we're fighting the Night Hag without skin.
She's always in pain.
Let me just prepare another mini.
Yeah.
I did
She
not
asked me to kill her.
see.
Because
She tried to make a deal for that.
I didn't see this part at the end. That on a success for the strength check, the item is destroyed and the restrained creature is freed. If the check fails, any further attempts made by that creature automatically fail until 24 hours have elapsed.
Fuck.
I did not.
That's a lot more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or 1 minute.
Yeah, that's.
We could just leave her.
Let's prepare for that.
She could just be glued to a
Is there-
metal
is there
trap
a
for the
size
rest of
limit?
time.
We make a new stash.
I'm not.
I don't think so. I think it changes to the
Huge
size.
or smaller.
How big is this collar?
I think he'd be strong enough to break out.
I think we can handle the
honestly.
collar now.
I don't know.
The
He
collar
was
is
rough, but we would not who we are now.
worth noting.
My hands are magical.
Based on size classifications, the collar is only large. He's not huge, so it could potentially work on him.
But he
should-
seems very
but
strong.
But he's pretty beefy, yeah.
We should concern ourselves with the one that could go into another plane of existence
You're
by
very right.
moving their
Okay,
fingers.
we will. We'll try to put her in there,
Yes.
and if the collar is with her, we'll just try and fight him with our hands
Yes.
and other accoutrements. What about anybody else who might be there?
Well, if
You
they
can have
bring,
any number of friends.
I don't know if she's aware that. I think it's safe to assume, perhaps, that she is aware that myself and Miss Genevieve have been. And Genevieve's like, it's Lady. My apologies. Myself and Lady Genevieve have. It's safe to assume that she is aware that we are with you. Will be with you.
Yes.
However, that does put her at a bit of a disadvantage if she does try to bring others from the compound to fight against us. Those are people I've been training and sparring with since I was a child. I know the inner workings of every single one of their fighting styles. I can
But
do my best to
also-
fill you in over the next couple of days in preparation in case they do show up.
If they fight anything
I
like you,
can
I've
only-
seen it firsthand as well.
I can only perform that spell that I used to get the two of them out probably twice before I'm, I don't have any more in me.
We'll definitely need to stock up again.
If we can get potions,
Plus,
we can force feed them to
Based on-
anybody that we can grapple, and they'll
based on
be
what
out of a spell.
Silas told me, any magics that we try to use could
Could go
have
haywire.
potential dangerous repercussions, or maybe potential helpful repercussions.
Yes?
Well, except for the ones we carry in, did we not come to the conclusion that maybe potions still
Already
retain
made magic seem to work always.
Yeah, so
can
if
test
we
it,
can if we can have everyone armed with
At
at
least
least a
one.
couple of these potions,
Um,
then if we can nail someone down, force feed it to them,
it
they're
be
likely to
possible-
stop fighting us.
to have another delivery system, not liquid? Could it be aerosol? Could it be like that's a word that shouldn't exist in this world?
Oh, like we could make
Be
like a
gaseous.
smoke bomb.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that a possible thing? Because it,
We'd
it
have
came
to
from
find a very
flower.
good
Could-
artificer.
Or cleric.
Yes.
What happens? Pippin
The end.
downs another shot.
What happens?
You got these potions that protect you from Fabians. What if you force fed a Fabian that potion? What would happen?
I've never tried.
Let's make smoke bombs out of these things.
I don't think it's like you couldn't like touch one. Maybe it is.
They can never touch
But I-
themselves ever again.
But I think more so.
Would his skin just come off then?
It just
I
like
think more
leaves.
so it's like against like any magics that being might.
Right. Would it make them unable to cast magic for the
I
duration?
don't.
Well,
We've never done that.
I don't.
if
know.
they're if we
Maybe
can,
if we come across any fairies or something on the way,
We
we
could
could do a
ask.
little experiment.
if we can get her bound
No.
in these bands in a way that covers her mouth and keeps her hands from moving, then that may limit the amount of spells she can cast anyway.
That's
But
true.
I also don't want us to fully rely on this as our plan
sure not,
because
but
there's a
it's
chance that she'll break out.
Of course.
Plan B is punching her in the mouth.
Yes, break
I
a jaw.
do, if I may, just as a suggestion, for our plan of action going in, we know for sure, absolute certain, that she does want the two of you dead. Pretty sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, she
Well,
wants him dead for
Not,
sure.
not
Based off
Absolutely.
our last interaction, I think the four of us probably.
I mean, yes.
It
dead,
seems
but
like she
also
was okay with anybody succeeding in that
She
fight.
likes suffering, though. Like, why
Yes,
wouldn't?
I think she'd
No,
like to have
all
us
I'm-
under her control.
Yeah.
Right.
All I'm suggesting is maybe the four of you don't be anywhere near each other.
Right.
Have like a buddy system of people who's not each other.
Oh, if
Yes,
things go,
we should have spatial awareness for spells like Aurora uses if they're going in a, a
And-
straight line sort of thing.
And anything could happen to Aurora spells while we're there, so steer
Yes.
clear.
Yeah, I think everyone should probably have a safe distance.
Well, I think all four of us, at least, should be separated just because of our speed and prowess in general, like martially.
Yes.
right? Well, I mean, if things go my way, then I'll be unseen for most of the fight anyway.
That's fantastic. I'm
But
just
you
kinda
can see
thinking
us, right?
Oh, yeah.
perhaps having Genevieve and Pippin and any other friends that might appear at the right time and would be on like extra duty. Anybody who's trying to kill us who isn't large and definitely a killer, just to, keep our friends as safe as possible.
And
But
then-
I'd also like to. I mean, the underlings of. I don't know what else to call them.
That's a word that I could not remember.
They're
in my
possibly. The thing that bothers me is that they're possibly other people's family members that have been stolen
Precisely.
from them, and I
Yeah.
would like to heal them rather than kill them.
Well,
Silas.
yes, you don't need to kill them, just incapacitate
Make a history check with advantage.
for a moment.
That's what you sound like. I don't know why. I don't know why I responded that way.
Check with the
That's what if we did that? The whole session we just mocked the DM though.
You'd have new characters in the next session.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd start campaign 2 much sooner than expected.
No, we have new characters.
Go ahead and do that hard mode D&D campaign we've been talking about.
19.
19.
If you'll allow it now, I was kidding.
No, absolutely.
I was kidding.
When Cholula mentions this, your mind goes back to that day in the Will Bloom Library when you were researching night hags. And you recall the bit about how what they really revel in is corrupting souls. You remember hearing about that fancy little sack that they have where if...
I'm sorry. That was 100% my fault.
You remember hearing about that fancy satchel that they carry on themselves. That if they destroy a creature that is evil, their soul is captured in the satchel. That means the creature can't be revived in any way. They then are the owner of that soul and can do what they wish with it, devour it, or use it for any number of things.
Yeah. Any number of things that I would never understand.
And it kind of clicks that if you hadn't succeeded in your fight last night, it would have been by your hand that Genevieve died. Mm-hmm. That probably would have sent you into a sort of spiral, probably, where any Silver Stake member in your path would not be safe. That would have given the hag exactly what she wanted. That would have corrupted you to the point that if she could kill you, your soul would then be hers.
Yeah.
You kind of realize that you dodged a fucking bullet, and at the same time, probably realize any combatants that she brings to fight by her side most likely are going to be innocents. And that's where we're going to end tonight's because it's 11 something. It's 11:15. I didn't realize how late it was getting. That was a very fun planning session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. But before we go, we have one more giveaway to announce. It's the Fantasy Forge New Moon Dice. They're beautiful, they're lovely. You want them, you can have them if your name is... And by name I mean screen name is... Lightning Wolf 777! Oh!
We're dogs.
We're wolves!
Okay.
Lightning Wolf. You just let us know.
Congratulations, Lightning Wolf 777. We will get those sent out to you at the end of the month. A reminder to all of you that prizes go out at the end of the month. Remember, when we hit 200, we've got several milestones. 200 followers, we're going to draw some sexy monsters. When we get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, which you can get to through our About section, then Miranda is going to draw some sexy anime boys, her top 10 or whatever.
Whoa!
I mean, I don't know how many there are. Are there less than 10?
No.
Okay, then top 20. Fuck it.
How many drawings can you do? Is really.
And when we get to, I'll say tentatively 300 followers, we're going to have a very special giveaway to announce for you that we still need to get in order, but I'm making it a promise now.
It's gonna
You're welcome,
be
everybody.
big.
There's 36.
Just imagine us really pulling in the favor from More Fun. Ooh. And imagine what a comic book shop could provide with someone who likes D&D a lot. Just imagine it. And then also, while you're imagining it, get us 300 followers.
Tell your friends. Share our clips on social media. I think that's probably the best way to give people a glimpse into what our show is, how it functions, and to make them fall in love.
Yeah.
How funny we are.
And you
We
guys
said fancy
direct
little sack
people
tonight.
to YouTube, if they're like, okay, but they're on episode 28 on next Saturday, I'm not gonna know what's going on. Just tell them to go hang out on YouTube during their work week when they're bored. Anyway,
It's like
Right,
a
as proof
podcast.
that someone can catch up.
And there is a recap at the beginning of each of those sessions on YouTube, either a well-edited and voice-acted previously on, or just me saying what happened last time at the beginning of the session. So there is no excuse.
yeah. You just gotta hang out through announcements basically to find out
Yeah.
what happened.
Make
last
all of this worth it. Look at this shit.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you that are here with us every week, and we look forward to those who will be joining us in the future. We'll see all of you next Saturday for episode 28
Try. Better not.
of Arcanarama. But until then, stay safe out there, adventurers. Bye, everybody.
That almost broke me. That.